Hi, everybody. We are back again. And I'm going to say hi, everyone. We're back again, just on the off chance I was like a split second too early. My name's Ketchup, joined by Mr. Aquaman. You're watching the PlayStation Tournament's Fight Nights Mortal Kombat 11 edition. And it's always a pleasure to be back. We're going to be looking at 8 top-level players from Europe. And then after this show, we're going to jump across the pond for North America for even more of that high-level competition, right? It's always a treat to bring this back, to see the players, to see the characters, and those stories progress. I don't know if you agree, Aquaman, but I think it's about right.
I mean, the story is going to continue for a lot of the players here tonight because we do have a few returning players from the previous month and just in time for the holidays here. And nothing says happy holidays like Mortal Kombat. Catch up.
I mean, look, mate, it's freezing here. I don't know if anyone watching is from the UK, but, you know, watch out for the slippery ice that's outside because I keep almost doing it. But either way...
And anybody be looking out for some slippery ice in the bracket if we see some Sub-Zero Lin Kuei action. And guys, let's go ahead and get into the action here tonight. I don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's get into the format that is going to be going down today. It's pretty simple. We've grabbed 8 of the best players kind of from the PlayStation tournaments, invited them into one bracket. It's going to be double elimination, best of 3, and finals will be best of 5. So keep in mind, it'll be first to 2 early on, best of 5, or first to 3 towards the end. And that's going to be our format here today. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the pricing. What are they going to be playing for, Catch-Up?
Money, money, money. And just in time for the end of the year, just in case anyone's got some holiday presents lying in wait, you know, this will be a nice little addition. First place, $200. Second place, 150. Third, 100. Fourth, 50.
Sure would go nice towards a PS5.
No, it would. It would. And I got to say, we have to keep in mind, right? 8 players, top 4 get paid. You want to make sure you're placing in the money. That's what matters the most. So, you know, it's not going to be just about good vibes. It's going to be trying to get yourself some money as well. Let's take a look at the bracket. You said it quite rightly, Mr. Aquaman. We have returning players, quite a few of them, in fact. Murko versus Zyppery. Festa versus Gollywomp. Keep in mind, that is going to be our 4th match. So we're not going to see that second. Macaron and K-Top. We see K-Top again. Wonderful business. And then Omi versus Kitana Khan. So, I mean, look, we recognize all these players, right? 5
returning players from last week alone. Omi, Kitana Khan, Macaron, Golly, and Zyppery Murko as well. Oh my goodness.
Hey,
this
look,
is kind of gross.
If you want to look at top-level European competition, especially in regards to PlayStation tournaments, this is the lineup to look at. You know, I know there's not every player we have sort of takes part in these cups, and if they don't, they definitely should. But I feel like we look at what the online realm has to offer in its purest form. And I think that's what really excites me. You know, we're starting off with Murko, for example. We all know Murko as one of, if not the best Scorpion out there. It's always a really, really tight group when I think we're looking at, especially European Scorpions, because you have people like Javier, for example, who's unbelievably good. Murko's partner in crime, as it were, in these tournaments. Their mirror matches are rather significant.
Amen. And then, I heard through the most deepest, darkest, brightest of praising of Sun word of mouth that Javier might be a Kodokan player now, but that remains to be seen, as we haven't seen Javier on here in quite some time. Maybe we'll have to bring him on for a fight night in the future, Catch-Up.
Hey man, Javier has been, I think I've been seeing him use Kodokan for a long time, mostly in like Combat League and stuff like that.
I want to see it in bracket.
Well, yeah, but you're biased, aren't you? Because you play
100%.
Anyway, the opponent, Zyppery. is going to be one hell of an adversary to take on here. We've got the noob Cybot, hailing from Hungary, which is always lovely to see. I think that's what I love about the PlayStation tournaments, especially for Europe, is that we just get to see so many players from so many different countries come together. And I guess that's what online is all about, right? You know, remove that barrier of entry, which could be flight, travel, accommodation, whatever you have.
And monetarily as well. It really does kind of cut out quite a bit for the player just to be able to get some kind of free and high level experience in the game.
It's great. This is the wave of the new blood, and thanks to good netcode, especially in 2022, most fighting games now have decent online at the very least. I think that's maybe not even being generous. There's a lot of good stuff to get involved in. And not only Mortal Kombat, but other games too. You know, you can see it at the top of your screen, right? Compete.playstation.com. If you want to get involved in fighting games, there's more than MK11 to be had. You know, I've seen Soul Calibur in the past. I've seen Tekken. I've seen Street Fighter. I mean, pretty much you name it. It's been there in some way, shape, or form. But we're now going into our first match to remind everybody, best of 3. We're going classic style, which means less room for error. You can't really afford to have those bad games. You know, we're looking at 3 out of 5 most of the time. You'll get washed in the first match. You think that's fine. I got 2 more to go. Not the case here. You got to give the A game. And actually, I recognize the black and red drip. Do I think that this is the fireball variation? Yeah, it is. Look, Murko. I tell you, I've watched so much Murko. I know the variation by looking at the drip alone. This is going to be fireball against Noob Cybot as well. I mean, curious to see what it can do. Yeah,
this is going to be quite interesting. And Zyppery back-to-back weeks kind of had something wild thrown on him. It was Baraka last week in the first round. It's going to be a much different animal on the other side of the screen, one that can deal with zoning even better. And let's see how Zyppery can handle it here. Murko going to be bringing it.
It's hard to say sometimes whether Murko makes these variations from a pure technical standpoint, like maybe there is a distinct matchup advantage, or Murko being a Scorpion specialist for so long. I mean, honestly, I feel like maybe he's just trying to have some fun, but I guess we're going to find out now.
I might have it catch up. I think that he has taken away low shadow at all in this matchup, or at least establishing some kind of decent trade to give him something to think about from a distance outside of teleport range and back 1 range, and we're swinging.
It's just giving Scorpion more opportunities to do stuff in ranges that he otherwise wouldn't. I think we've seen it against other keep away characters. If I'm not mistaken, we did see it against Cetrion last time we saw Murko. Yeah, that's one of those Murko anti-airs.
No, wait a second.
Range.
That was a little clean. If you're going to anti with a slow button like that, that means that you are seeing the game. You're a frame walker at that point, and here comes another one. Get out of my airspace, says Murko early on.
Yeah, I mean, Zyppery's going to be forced to go for maybe some different jumping options here. Noob Cybot having a bit of a floaty jump. So if you have... Oh, no. Caught pressing buttons, back 1 for fatal blow. Thank you very much for that. And that's going to be round 1 for Murko, just like that. But I got to say, Zyppery gave it a really good run. And Murko, no more fatal blow. So could be that.
That was so solid up until a couple of perfectly spaced buttons. And I say that right as Murko finally missed times one. But that is kind of a guess that you always make against Noob Cybot. When he's swinging his that particular string, you never know if he's going to commit to the end, which is going to teleport him 20 feet across the screen.
And Noob Cybot, master of range, right? Really bad movement, but kind of made up for by, being able to control that mid-screen and more. And I got to say,
and the damage?
All these options, yes indeed.
And the damage?
I mean, Noob Cybot and damage go hand in hand. It has been since day 1. Love to see it, especially in the corner. Empty jump low. Now, don't count out Murko, master of comebacks, and putting on that pressure. And up 3. Goes for a brave option there, you know. Try to be a little bit safer than up 2, perhaps. Does call out the teleport as well. I like that choice. It's unlikely Murko's going to just throw that bar away, but got to watch out for that teleport to try and get out the corner.
He kind of pulled the ultimate MK11 right there. You have 1 hit to your name, and he did 3 of the most aggressive things that you can do in MK11. And now Zyppery all of a sudden, with a lot of momentum, Murko feeling the pressure, but the wake-up jump, normally the bait of someone's existence, is actually what's going to help him here in the drop from Zyppery.
Lack of resources really hurt Zyppery's momentum there. Being able to go 1-1-3 teleport, you know they wanted to be a full B&B locked in, but unfortunately didn't have the offensive bar to go for it. Whiffs the 1-1-2, and now things just kind of going from bad to worse. Delayed forward 4, the Scorpion special. Ooh, goes for optimal stuff though. Tries to get max damage and drops the combo. Calls out the fatal blow as well. A big risk was made, and a grab to seal game number 1. Now, not a perfect match from Zyppery, but a good, valiant effort. Unfortunately, overcommitting to fatal blow. I mean, that is going to I think it's the bane of some Noob Saibot players. It takes a long time for that to recover, especially if it doesn't connect.
Absolutely. And both of them just kind of taken some very aggressive reads towards the end. Even that throw could have gotten chin checked in the GGs right there. Catch up. What is it? Down to, back to something. Possibly could have killed Murko on that attempt. And
back one,
and that's exactly what it came down to.
That could have been a swift punch into face. But either way, 1-0. Now, I've got to say, didn't see a huge amount of the fireball come into play, but I think there's also a discussion to be had of the existence of a kind of mid-screen. One or two. I mean, we saw it mostly in the first round, but I guess to be fair, a lot of that fight was taking place at point blank.
Yes.
And there's also an argument to be had about the existence of a move making someone hesitant to throw projectiles before the match has even begun. So, you know, I guess we'll wait and see how useful it is.
That's kind of the beauty of it, is because this is, in and of a sense, you know, a little bit of poker in that you've showed your opponent what card you have, and they're going to be thinking the entire time, when are they going to use it? And for Murko, he showed it early and then played the mind game of not doing it one more time in the match, and then just played kind of base Scorpion here up in your face, and what a micro duck from Zyppery. He's going to get a huge cash out.
Hang on a minute. Wait a minute. Whoa. I was going to say doesn't get huge damage, but thanks to the existence of the sickle snag there, I mean, we can get certainly better than nothing. And the important thing there for Zyppery clearly was getting towards the corner. Now, a full combo here for Murko. The back three doesn't quite get whiff punished there. The roll out of the corner almost helped him out. Hit confirm now. Doesn't have the meter, so we just have to take it for what it is. Wake up 1-1. Zyppery hitting the panic button, I think, and is going to get paid massively for it. 1-1 fatal blow for Murko to punish. Jump kick completely blows it up, and that's now going to be a match point for that Italian stallion.
I see two players that are refusing to block on Wake Up right now, Catch Up, but I am loving it. This is aggressive, and he finally checks some forward movement with that shadow.
I like that answer, though.
Resistance, and now he's closed it. What?
Murko went for a jump in, did the teleport into cancels, just to kind of see what Zyppery was going to do there. The down three as an answer. I mean, you know, jump in, teleport, probably not going to work now against Noob Saibot down three. Goes nice and low to the ground, teleports are high. Anyway, looking for the single hit confirm. We know that Murko got those. The back two into teleport.
There it is. Check it out. Oh, no. And what for? Was that an optimal meterless or something pickup? I don't know what that man was doing with the instant jump kick, but I respect it, Catch Up. I respect this swag out here on PlayStation.
Trip guarding it with the back three, and that's going to be game over. Zyppery gave it a good go, but it's not enough to stop the fire of Murko right here, who, to be fair, when we're looking at PlayStation tournaments, there's a real top three being established, I think, and I think you're going to put Murko right in there. Might even be #1 with recent results. And that is going to be a swift 2-0. So when we get into these next few matches, one thing I've been doing, you know, production quite generously provides us the bracket before we go live. It's on the
Thank you guys.
ESL Play website. Cool thing about it is that you can actually look at what other tournaments the players have been taking part in. And remember, as I've said before, you go to compete.playstation.com. You can see all the games that are covered. There's a lot of different fighting games. Now, if I'm looking at Murko, the funny thing about Murko is it is almost exclusively Mortal Kombat 11. But if I look at some of the other games, there's Mortal Kombat X and Injustice 2. Like those two would have been from years and years ago. But you know, this player, no stranger to that online sort of performance, I suppose. I don't even think Murko has ever been to an offline event. I've certainly never seen him. But if that fateful day ever comes, Murko is more than likely going to push right into that competitive Mortal Kombat spectrum. I think he's going to upset a lot of people if they're not familiar with him. He's one of the players that's going to be one to watch. You know,
I 100% agree. Fingers crossed here in 2023, we get some offline back here in the world. Let's see. But Murko, you're returning champion here on Fight Nights as well. Took it last week over Kitana Khan in finals. And boy, oh boy, do you see a potential path for a repeat of history. But we got the homie Omi in here still, Macaron, and K-Top. You want to talk about players that have been excelling and competing in other games, Catch Up? This young Greek stallion himself.
I mean, you look no further, really. K-Top and Macaron going head-to-head. More than likely, I think, going to be Jackie versus Scarlet Although we have seen K-Top pick other characters. There was a Cabal once upon a time. There was a Terminator once upon a time. And I love it. I'd love to see the Terminator again. Don't think we're going to see it today because you are going up against the greatest Scarlet player on the planet. So yeah, it might be a little bit easier.
Let's talk it into existence. K-Top, I want to see the Terminator 2. I want to see the Terminator 2. Next.
Yeah, K-Top, if you're watching the stream right now, totally risk.
No bias stream.
In this best of 3, risk throwing it by picking a different character. We'd love it. We'd absolutely love it. But actually, if I'm looking at...
Or is this the optimal time to pick Terminator because that's first to 2?
That's a good point.
There are things that can be said about this.
That's a good point. That is a good point. Although you are going up against Scarlet, so I don't know how easy it will be to establish that.
He's got to teleport. He's got to teleport.
But hey, look, I mean, I'm looking at the site here and K-Top stats, mostly Mortal Kombat 11, but has had a lot of experience in Tekken 7, Street Fighter 5, Guilty Gear Strive, even Dragon Ball Fighters. I mean, this guy lives and breathes fighting games. Macaron, almost exclusively Mortal Kombat 11. But I think if you're going to play someone like Scarlet, who takes as much work as she does, I can't say I'm surprised that Macaron has been on that grind for many years and probably many years to come. I see no signs of this player slowing down at all.
Same here, Ketchup. One of my favorites to watch in the last 2 years. I mean, heck, since MK11 came out. But you just look at how he plays, how he approaches the game, and you see someone that's doing the right things. That's what I like about Macaron. And having played him, a little bit disgusting at times.
I think there's just tons of talent there. That's the biggest thing to take away. Actually, looking at this matchup too, there's a good chance like this could have been a grand finals. In fact, I think this probably has been a grand finals in PlayStation tournaments at one point, because these are, if we're looking at that top of the food chain, the players that have been the most successful throughout PlayStation tournaments, especially in Europe for Mortal Kombat, K-Top is one of those players. Murko is one of those players. Javier's been right up there. Macaron, like they've all been at the highest caliber of competition here. And it doesn't really surprise me. But if we're looking at potential
one of the things,
here.
One of the things that impresses me most about someone like him, and something about this matchup in particular, is seeing how Europe in general deals with Jackie, because you see, I think, a lot more tech utilized at a high level, especially from someone from Macaron, to know the options against those leaps and see the anti-airs actually utilized. Because I feel like, as much as it's seen in NA, in the last year or so, I feel like Jackie hasn't been as dominant, or the Jackie players haven't been as active in the last year in NA, where we've seen some other characters really dominate and a lot more characters selected. In EU, it has been a Jackie show for quite some time, and they have learned how to deal with Jackie very well. So I want to see some cool tech, and Macaron's usually one to show it off. Same thing with K-Top. We're going to see the counter Scarlet, because there is rare this level Scarlet out there in the world. And this is one of the few people that has a little bit of experience.
Yeah, I think there's always been a massive emphasis on specialists in Europe. I think that dates all the way back to the Mortal Kombat 9 days. We're talking 10 years ago. There's a lot of character loyalists, people that just like to play who they like to play. Now, I think that as time has progressed, we do have players that would like to pick more of a top tier character similar to their style of play. And that's really the only reason K-Top uses Jackie, let alone this variation, because K-Top, known for being extremely aggressive. He likes to rush down. He likes to be in your face. Of course, you're going to play someone like Jackie, because that's the best character in the game at doing that.
Absolutely.
Macaron on the opposite end likes that space control. And I think that's why you see Scarlet, you see even sometimes Nightwolf, but the Nightwolf variation still has a strong mid-screen game. It's very bizarre, but effective.
Oh my goodness, K-Top implementing the just swing right now. You mentioned his aggression. That's exactly what round 1 was. Once he closed that gap, it was Button City until Macaron's health bar just kind of disappeared.
How it go? Going up against someone like Jackie, especially early on. I like that emphasis there to go in for the plasma. The teleport out there for Macaron. I mean, you're going to take maybe some damage teleporting, but you have to get out. You don't want to get stuck in the corner against Plasma and Jackie Briggs. It's just not going to work out for you. Macaron looking for the jump under, the 1-2. K-Top maybe expecting a stagger on its own. Can't quite get the punish on that boiling point, but either way, keeps him standing, run in for the grab, and it's looking like a pretty swift game 1 if Macaron can't pull out something immaculate. I guess for now, at least, K-Top doesn't quite have meter, although that is going to swiftly go away now. 1 bar is all you need at this level to make it work. Macaron with the heal. Plus.
A little bit of health back, which got him outside of the fatal blow range, though, which is one of the comeback factors here. And Jackie going to be able to do some big unwagerable damage, right? Unwagerable. I've been catching too many games. I've been commentating too many games recently.
My man's been watching too much Injustice 2. but it's another NetherRealm game, so it's okay. Never mind, though. It's going to be a clean game one here. Don't worry, mate. Don't worry.
I was just watching Injustice 2 recently. Okay, listen, guys. Please don't let that against me. But that was actually what kind of made that situation worse for Macaron, was that he put himself in a situation where he took his own comeback mechanic away and was still kind of in a killable situation for K-Top, to where your meter didn't even really matter.
And it was a clean game one. But it's kind of the Jackie effect and someone like K-Top who's never going to let up. But honestly, Aquaman, don't worry about it. I remember commentating an Injustice 2 tournament, right? And we'd been hosting a lot of Soul Calibur 6 because it had just come out at our local. And I, for some reason, called a push block or reversal edge in Injustice. I'm like, wait, that is completely wrong. That's not even close to being correct. But either way, it's actually going to force a Cetrion pick here for Macaron. Now, this is kind of making me feel a bit nostalgic. I know it's a bit weird to say nostalgia and Cetrion, but Macaron used to pick Cetrion against some of the more prominent top tiers when it just wasn't working. And I think that this is kind of one of those instances. You know, you're going to pick a better character, one that still has your style of play, but one that in your eyes might be better at fighting, not necessarily Jackie, but K-Top in particular.
Yeah, and a few of the things that we saw really hurt Macaron in that last match was doing anti-airs, going through breakaways, and whiffing strings that were just so punishable that K-Top would wake up and punish. And those slower buttons were getting beat out up close. He brought faster buttons, less recovery, and a whole lot more safer control with the mother of nature herself.
At the same time, you're not going to have as much damage, but if you're able to establish a solid neutral and just make it go piece by piece, it doesn't really matter. You know, that's going to add up eventually.
That's a big difference. Is Scarlet is one of those owners that can cash out with some pretty beefy damage. And whereas Cetron here, going to nickel and dime, but he is doing that exactly. It's been 10% of the time, but it's hurting.
K-Top doesn't have the meter to really get anything significant here, so it's more than likely going to be a round one in the favor of Macaron. And remember, you know, I think that one of the things that could have definitely influenced the Cetrion pick was the best of three. You had the disastrous game one, and you know there's a character in the back pocket that might be useful. You don't really have time to think about it. If you feel like it's the right thing to do, you just have to go for it. Anti-air now as Macaron takes even more damage down here on K-Top. K-Top with the mid, the interruption, and that's going to be big damage even without the breaker being used. Goes in for an overhead. That's going to be a punish. Macaron.
That's a rare punish you see around these parts, catch up.
Yes, it is. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot it was punishable because it's been so long since I've seen it.
Nobody punishes the people's elbow in EU. We do, baby. K-Top scores the knockdown into close to the corner. Uses the grounded approach there. Knows not to test Macaron's reactions. Those anti-airs have been flying. I say that right as he jumps at him, gets the corner. That's going to be the round. Nothing Macaron can do but sit back and eat that blue magic on his way to a final round.
Now, Jackie doesn't have a lot of full screen options. We're going to open up the mix-up, teleport or not. Does Macaron want to instantly get out of the corner? You don't want to be in the corner, but you don't want to be too predictable. I think tried to go for a jump-in teleport, and there we go, finally able to escape. Now, a bit of plus frames, challenges the leap, and actually gets a full combo for it. But again, as I said, there's not a lot of damage on this character, outside of crushing blows, of course, but look at all of that. Macaron, this Cetrion pick. Oh, hang on a minute. Full jump-in. And before you can even break, yeah, Macaron opts to go for a break. 35%'s already been done. The throw tech clutch stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Get out of my airspace.
What a buffer from Macaron right there. Needs one more mix. Here's a pinata for you. Knocking on the defensive door of K-Top. Gonna be enough though. K-Top just getting kind of shimmied right there, and Macaron ties us up at one game apiece. The switch to Cetrion, you saw what the matchup was all about in that final round. He had him in the corner for 45 seconds, just wailing away at that health bar, and K-Top hit this man once, and it was even. And then it got scary.
The start of that final round was paramount. I mean, you're back to the wall against Jackie. You know you have a teleport. You have more options than most to escape that corner, but you have to play a pretty scary game to get out there safely. You know, if Macaron got stuck, knocked down, forced into pressure before you had an option to escape out there with a teleport, this could have gone a very, very different way. But Macaron just played it right. You know, he made the right calls. He was able to escape. Took minimal damage in the meantime, and that just opened him up a little bit more for that mid-screen. So now we're jumping into our final game here. The Cetrion pick has been wonderful so far. This could even be the last time we see Cetrion from Macaron today, but we'll find out how things are going to go in this final game.
I've loved the use of stand one. He's picked up beautifully his conversions into the vine grab every time. It was underneath the dash punch. Whoa! Not only did he go under it, canceled it and got a punish. We just watched him enter the Matrix.
Jackie going in for a flying punch there. Macaron's like, hold on a minute, got to pick up my car keys. Down 4 anti-air. Classic stuff. Love to see it.
I'm starting to sweat a little bit, Ketchup. I'm starting to sweat a little bit. I'm seeing a lot of anti-airs. It's getting hot in here. Whoa.
Oh, the standing one buffer from far away too. Macaron. Have not seen the Cetrion from Macaron in some time. I mean, by all means, could have been using it recently. I wouldn't know. I haven't seen it, but either way, looking nice and warmed up and practiced. That's the important thing. Another anti-air.
Oh my goodness. Was that such a good anti-air that the game didn't even convert it for him? It's like, nope, that was too high, man. Anti-air later.
K-Top had to go for an expensive read there. Had to go for an extra shrapnel blast. Doesn't want to be anti-air. Doesn't want to be too predictable, but you are going to lose a lot of meter in the process. Oh no, watch your toes. Far range barrier. That one not so much, but who cares? It connects anyway.
He is abusing the mobility of Cetrion so well to just force some whiffs from K-Top and force that range that her buttons are just going to be kind of bigger and maybe around the same speed. I like this game style from Macaron, and he's here on match point.
Another dash punch, but not really one that you're going to have to care about. The crushing blow's gone. K-Top now forced into a really scary situation. And the instant jump! The instant jump! No. That was the last thing anyone was expecting.
He couldn't even play the game right there, Ketchup. That was... That out of the corner in game 2 woke him up, and he never decided to go back to sleep after that.
It was a great choice. The character change in enough time to realize that things just weren't working out. And that is the hallmark of a top-level player. You know, yeah, I think there's a lot of people that could go, yeah, you just swap to Cetrion. It's a lot more complicated than that. You know, we know that the Scarlet is better in the hands of Macaron, but in a matchup like this, especially someone like K-Top, who, although he's highly talented, it's pretty common knowledge that he isn't exactly the most patient player out there, and that sometimes can be a hindrance. And in this case, when you pick a Cetrion of this caliber with the playstyle that Macaron has really honed over the years, it's a really smart choice, and you know that's going to be a hard-earned 2-1 victory. Brings us into our next matchup. This is only round 1, remember. You know, we've got plenty more games where that came from. Up next is going to be Omi versus Kitana Khan. So it's going to be from one Cetrion to another. We're going to be seeing, no doubt, the Cetrion again from Kitana Khan, unless maybe we could see the Sindel. We have seen Sindel from Kitana Khan. And Omi, a bit of a question mark. Could be Sub-Zero, could be Jade, could be Jackie, could be Frost.
That's what I hope for here. 'Tis the season, Omi. We talked about it last week. Love all those characters. We want to see the Frost. I'd like to see some Sub-Zero as well. This is the time for the Lin Kuei. And matchup-wise, Sub-Zero always that threat that Cetrion players have to sweat about.
I guess we're only moments away, really, from finding out. As now Omi, been seeing him for a long time. Kitana Khan, definitely one of the younger generation. And I think that's something that you love to see. You know, you love to see players that are sort of pioneering that new generation of Mortal Kombat talent. Yeah. Omi, a little bit older, you know, but all the same to me.
Hey, that's still, I mean, that's still kind of young compared to us, I think. You know, he's in the middle of the pack of the average Mortal Kombatter, I think.
I would say so. Yeah, I'm an old man at this point, which I don't like feeling that way. Only feels like yesterday Mortal Kombat 9 was the new hotness, but that was 10 years ago. But now moving about, Kitana Khan. I mean, how old was Kitana Khan when Mortal Kombat 9 came out? 8. Come on, bro. 8. That's ridiculous.
How old was Kitana Khan when this game came out?
Oh dear. I think that makes me feel even worse.
Yeah,
you know, I think that's the two Chilean twins.
I honestly
the two Chilean twins that are even younger. It's like, oh yeah, my lord.
Oh man, when you think about that, I mean, it blows your mind a little bit, doesn't it? How young these players are and how good they are. And that sets quite a good future for competitive Mortal Kombat, I think. Call me crazy. I'm insane.
Hey mate, look. The future's bright. That's how I look at it. There's so many players.
Like the sun over Kotal's grave in Mortal Kombat, it shines as bright as the morning sun. Ketchup.
You just can't stop talking about Kotal Khan, you know?
I'm never going to be over it.
It's great. Who knew? Who knew your life would take such a turn when Kotal Khan was released to the world?
Yep. It is the only thing that I will fight for, Ketchup, until he's more broken and is picked in every slot in every tournament and is the only character we see on screen.
Now, I've got to be honest, though, looking at this matchup, Sub-Zero, good choice there from Omi. I think no matter how you look at the matchup in terms of numbers, I don't think a lot of Cetrion players enjoy fighting Sub-Zero. You know, this could even be an even matchup. Like, I don't know. Like, whatever the players say, whatever the players think, that will tend to differ. But one thing that's been kind of historic in MK11 is that Cetrion players hate fighting Sub-Zero. That's just always been it. Even if it's like she doesn't lose the matchup, it's just annoying because, you know, you want to establish space, you want to clear that area, right? And here comes Sub-Zero, who, you know, one slide, 3 of them into crushing blow. He's going to out damage you. He's going to out mix you. You have to keep him away, but he kind of has the odds in his favor if we're looking at damage and stuff. But Kitana Khan rushing it down and not even giving Omi the opportunity. Great way to approach it.
He does try to close the gap right now. Beautiful teleport from Kitana just to get the space built. Knew that Omi was kind of in a jump territory to maybe establish some jump one pressure and all control, similar to what we saw from Macaron. Just getting started. Even the same pop off mid round. She is just planting her garden here. Is Swamp Thing going to come out of there?
You really have been watching too much Injustice 2. Love it. Love to see it. There's that full screen freeze now. Speaking of which, Sub-Zero in Injustice 2. What a cool character he was, no pun intended. But either way, Omi putting Kitana Khan into the corner, exactly what you want to do to a character like this, man. You want to prevent her to establish that space. You want to make Kitana Khan sweat a little bit, especially after a comfortable round 1, right? I mean, that was all Cetrion. Maybe not so much now. Oh, the jump from the heavens from Omi. Full combo, and the break denies the corner and also denies the crushing blow requirement. So we'll take both of those. And now with Fatal Blow, especially after this grab, do not get hit, my friend. I guess that applies to both of them. No, confirm!
But luckily didn't overcommit to the forward too, which is one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Omi still one away, gets a whiff punish with, of all things that we've seen, an ice ball whiff punish for the win.
That was a nerve-wracking end to the round. Omi had it. The 1-2 was there. We just needed an ice ball to follow up, and that would have been the round. Thankfully for Omi, though, able to keep it together. A lovely Hell's Wrath. Oh, and that's a big, big punish. No breaker for Omi either. So that's just, oh, so much damage. Back one with punish.
That was such good disrespect to know that there was maybe some slight negativity there on the restand because it wasn't amplified, and then the backdash back one. The Sub-Zero special right there. Cuts it with the 4-2. He's a knockin'.
That's the first one we've seen. That is the first one. Could be the only one. Wow, just reads. Jumping back too. My man was reading a jump there.
Or, oh, Patrick! Yes! Revenge of the ocean. The sea of blood is drinking the night ketchup.
That just kind of happened, didn't it?
It really did.
I don't think I've ever seen that brutality in tournament. Love it. Love to see it.
Toss down there with Geras. Good Lord.
That's ridiculous.
What a turnaround for Omi. And I thought Kitana Khan, you know, that second round, Kitana Khan did something so great. And it's why Omi did, I think, the jump in back too. Omi had got the clean jump in over the rock wall. Big combo, cash out, scored the knockdown, immediately jumped in on the knockdown. Kitana Khan so ready for it, flawless blocks the jump in, and then swung with a 1-1. And it worked. Got a combo. Omi said, okay, I got you next time. Jumping back 2 immediately, and it hit.
That's the best kind of first game to take. One that says to your opponent, I'm ready for it. I'm absolutely prepared. I've seen what you've done. I'm going to immediately answer back and actually win the game on it. So it takes a lot of mental composure to bring yourself back from that. But I think Omi is going to be feeling that momentum. And again, reminding everyone, this is best of 3. So taking the first game in that fashion spells good things for Omi. Kitana Khan now going for a lot more strict keep away. Lovely flawless block on the forward 4 at this level of play. Everyone's going to be able to do that. A big change for the matchup too. Oh, dearie me though. Natural barrier does not work. Omi, full combo as well. Keeps the meter, keeps the positioning. Probably did not want that uppercut to do that, as now we're back to mid-screen, but
or
way,
read the flawless block once more, perhaps, on the jump in. And empty jump down too. It is technology out there in the world.
Oh, it is these days. Jumping into down 2 is like the answer for these flawless blocks at the moment, but
these kids are getting too good at him. Grabbed out of, I don't know what that was, but it doesn't exist today. Omi trying to close that gap. He's got the fatal blow and thought that the unamplified was going to come. That left Kitana Khan kind of open there, resourceless. So lucky for them to find the second beam of death from the top rope.
Omi definitely expected maybe a bit of greed there from Kitana Khan. The punish on the slide, though, not necessarily about the damage as much as it is building towards that crushing blow. 3 of those, and then bam, big damage. the forward 4 to get the knockdown, the delayed back 3. You can think, Kitana Khan really looking to react to that overhead low. So hard to do. Full combo now as Omi gets another jump in. Decent damage. More importantly, though, keeping the corner. Something he wasn't able to do in the last round. And you might even think maybe that was what gave the position there for Kitana Khan, the ability to win that first round. The stagger game. Goodness. Back 2, bro, the mix.
I cannot believe just what is happening right now. Omi is... everything that he did right there, not only was it was different. Every button he pressed, every mix-up he threw was different from start to end. Never threw the same thing twice, and everything landed. Let's see if Kitana Khan came out the comeback, though. Only a real master territory. He has put a slowdown to what has been such great aggression. Goes to the ballerina spin and no punish. And that was a bit of a risk from Omi as well. Looked like it was a late reaction to the ballerina spin. Probably didn't expect a risk like that when you've got the ground pound available.
I like the punish though. I like the punish on the reverse throw because you can't tech punishes. You can't tech throws, sorry, when they're punished, and being able to put them near the corner as we go into what could be the final round. Either way, Kitana Khan, a full hit. Make that 2. Minimal damage, but enough to at least get 50% down there. Sub-Zero, 1 overhead. I was just about to say it. 1 overhead is going to deal with that quite significantly. Delays into the forward jump now. In this case, Kitana Khan, more respect being shown on the jump, as you'll notice. Nothing was pressed. How long is that going to last remains to be seen. Got to watch out for these ice balls. Omi really trying to catch a Hell's Wrath or maybe a natural barrier. Oh, Kitana Khan, hang on a minute.
Loses the health lead, but now has the Executioner's Axe available. The buy-all, end-all of the Lin Kuei.
Dash under. Oh, we knew it was coming. And she's 950. That's it. Game over. We all expected it, 0. But it happened anyway.
Omi, and it came down to the guess of death, the down 1 on hit.
Boom.
So, because of the last patch, that down 1 on hit, guys, gives Sub-Zero enough hit advantage to guarantee a forward 2 or back 3 mix-up. You got to hold that hit advantage.
Man, there's nothing worse than getting hit by that overhead low mix-up, and then he just pulls out the frozen treats. How rude is that?
Not only did he take you out, but he's trying to make a couple of dollars at your funeral, too. That's messed up, man.
Can you imagine buying ice cream from the Deadpool? What a horrible place to purchase anything.
2-0 for Omi. That run will continue. Kitana Khan, last week's finalist, going to have to take the long road if you want to see them in grand finals again.
I mean, a good chance. Kitana Khan, more than likely not going to be the last time we see them today. We haven't seen a massive amount of Kitana Khan in these tournaments, but I think that's more the fact that Kitana Khan might have just, as of the last few months, perhaps started to really enter them, started to get more involved, and actually maybe just might have been old enough, So there's definitely different things to be had here. But in that short time, has been quite successful, and it's been impressive stuff. Where first round losers or lower bracket, don't really think that's going to bother them too much because they're the kind of player that a lot of people would be kind of nervous about going head-to-head against. We'll have a look at the bracket in a minute and we'll kind of see what we're looking at in terms of our first set of matches. Kitana Khan and K-Top, lower bracket round 1. I mean, come on.
Whew.
That is disgusting. That's going to be a savage elimination match.
That's a little bit down there. That's getting.
One of these players is going 0-2. What the hell?
The money still 2 rounds away down there.
So close yet so far, perhaps.
I would say that's a slippery slope, but it's almost a Zyppery slope down there.
Oh, shut up, Aquaman. Shut up. Speaking of which,
I hope I get banned for that. PlayStation, if you're listening, I hope that's the one.
I'm on mute his mic for crying out loud. But speaking of which, though, Zyppery is going to be able to face off in lower bracket round 1 against one of Festa or Gollywomp. So one of those 2 players is going to go down in that first round, and I don't think they're going to be particularly happy to do so. You want that comfort zone. You want to have that ability to have that sort of comfort game, especially as you go into grand finals. We'll touch on double elimination grand finals later on when the time actually becomes appropriate. But let's have a look at Festa. Now, I don't know a massive amount of Festa as a player, but I did see the profile picture.
I like a lot of things that I see. Okay, I like 1, 2, 3, 4 things that I'm seeing right here, catch up. 4, the man's name. 2, age. 3, location. Shouts to Hungary again, representing here in this bracket. And as you just looked at, who's that character?
Collector. Bro, hang on a minute. Collector versus Baraka. in PlayStation tournaments. I don't think we've ever had this match before.
Turn the volume up to 11. It's time.
I don't think we've seen it. I do not think we've seen Baraka versus Collector in PlayStation tournaments ever. And these have been going on for like 3 years, maybe even a little bit longer. You know, I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie, the last few years have kind of blurred into one for me, but either way, I do not recall ever seeing it, and that is wonderful. Two characters that, depending on the variation, of course, can be quite different. You know, we have seen that from Baraka, even the levels of mix that Baraka can apply depending on the variation that you pick. We do know that Golly is able to play a whole bunch of different variations. Collector has some of the higher practical damage in the game, but also one of the absolute best armor breakers. That Relic Claw, you cannot break it. You can't, ever. And even then, it's a knowledge check if you don't know how to punish it, because it is a weird move to punish if you're not familiar.
And how is Baraka going to deal with the ranged bullying that is Collector at a certain range in neutral? You know, stopping the 3, stopping the forward 3, all of those things. It's going to be a little hard for Baraka, I think, to contest, but
I'm looking forward to this.
But Gollywomp has made, I mean, round 1 last week, what we saw him do against Noob Saibot, same thing. A matchup where on paper, what's Baraka gonna do? He found a way. Like life in Jurassic Park, this man found a way.
Look, this is the kind of character where if you're maining them in tournament in 2022, you've probably done your homework. It's the only thing that will keep you at a competitive level. You know, Baraka and Collector, two characters that a bit more forgettable, I think, in the meta of this game. Obviously, got to give props to MK11 for its general balance. I know that obviously every fighting game is going to have its top tiers and its bottom tiers, but the gap between them in this game is just not as severe as it has been in previous games. You know, it's why we can see a top 8 that has Baraka in it, a top 8 that has Collector in it. I mean, we're going from one end to the other. You know, we started the show with Cetrion and Jackie, as we always do. It's competitive Mortal Kombat 11.
Made the rounds.
But now it's Collector and Baraka. I think this is almost our reward. This is our reward for seeing the Jackie once more, the Cetrion twice. You know, no disrespect intended. It's just when you see the same characters over and over again.
Let's call it what it is.
You totally understand why those characters are picked. Like, you're playing a win, right? You're going to pick the best characters. But when you see people that use their favorites, their absolute favorites, ones that are less favorable, that's like a treat, especially at this level of play.
Preach it, catch up. We love the abnormal, the eclectic, the cool. I want to see something that I haven't seen before. Not the thing that I've seen 10,000 times. Sometimes in competitive play. New, awkward is exciting.
We've seen a lot of matches, right? You know, we've been commentating for a long time through various games, and it always tends to be the same story. You know, you're always treated to nice, refreshing matches that just are matchups you haven't seen before. I think it's why I've said it a few times, but I'm quite excited to see Baraka and Collector. I haven't seen that matchup in so long. I don't even know how the matchup would go. And even variations.
On top of it, yeah. Like, what variations are they going to bring? Are we going to see a little bit of spare change in the Collector pick? Will we see some dot damage to make Baraka move? I don't know. It could be effective against a character like that who doesn't have any options to really move. And if he does, he's only moving a couple of ways. It's either jump, walk, or maybe forward 4. Baraka's forward 4 is his move kit, believe it or not.
It is. It's the only thing.
It is his dash. It's his dash, yeah.
Imagine if you could block cancel the forward 4. How would he fly around the screen? That'd be great. That'd be so good. That'd be just what he needed. That would literally be just what he needed. But either way, you know, there's so many potential moves here, and I think my unfamiliarity with seeing it is even more exciting for it, because I don't know what variation we could see. You know, both characters have access to good armor breakers, and this is entirely depending on just what you take. Good armor breakers, decent projectiles. You know, Baraka's Blade Spark's certainly far from the worst projectile. Collector has quite a few of them, whether it's his string, whether it's the ones that you can equip. Command grab potential. You know, Collector's going to have that mid one. Baraka has the one that goes a little bit further.
Will he bring the teleport? You know, will he bring the teleport? Won't he bring the teleport? Will we see? I'm going to ask the important question. Will we see flag Baraka today?
That's a good question. Because
I'm asking the important things.
If there was one Baraka player, look, Aquaman, if there was one Baraka player that would use the flag, it's going to be the one we're about to see, because we've seen it Not much, but it has been used, and mostly in the corner. I can't remember the exact reason for it. I know that we were, I was asking and theory crafting it, and the answer was it's good in the corner for like certain situations, like 1-1-2, right, or something like
that. So it has a good enough knockdown to actually apply a meaty. If that meaty hits, you get 40% meterless off of a flag plant hit advantage. And then if you equip another move, which is the low stake, people don't really know about that move. It's +6 on block, and it does, I think, 240 damage if it hits like raw, or like 200 flat. It does, it might be 240 for +6 on block. It's really scary in the corner. People just don't know.
And the flag will just simply give him more damage anyway, right?
Yep.
Wow. Might be able to see it. I do believe complete transparency, by the way. Before we continue our train of thought, just full transparency. I believe we're waiting for a player, so that's the only reason we haven't got into the match yet. Rest assured, as soon as everything is ready, we'll jump in. I mean, we've made it no secret that we're excited to see this matchup, so we would like to see it just as much as you. But while we do so,
we can keep talking about weird moves if you want.
Yeah, man. When else are we going to get the chance to do it?
And on top of the low, it is a troll move, but how great is grabbing the flag and running across the screen with hyper armor?
Possibly one of the worst moves I've ever seen.
Don't you dare.
Possibly one of the worst. I don't want to be too negative here, but I think it's going to be one of the weaker moves.
Okay,
who knows?
Is it? I actually pulled it off in a ranked match where I went through a Rambo M60. One of the greatest things I've ever witnessed.
Oh my god! And you know what? When I played Rambo, like it was a regular thing. It definitely wasn't. But when I did, the M60 was so much fun. It really was. And look, we're here. We're good.
Yes. Gollywomp. Fester. It's going down. Baraka Collector. This is a battle for Outworldian supremacy. Two of the big baddies from Outworld going at it. One you love to see. It's gonna be Bag Bomb, Demonic Clutch, and Fake Out. Blood Lunge, Leg Kebab. Ooh, we got kind of what I didn't expect. We just got mixed Baraka on the screen.
Absolute mix. Whether it's going to be command grab, whether it's going to be overhead low. But I think Fester really trying to go for a bit more of that range control and kind of playing that matchup correctly, right? Going in for that forward 3, cancelling it, and oh, hang on a minute. Already a full combo now. The launch. Do we see a break? Yes, we do. And wow, already challenging it though. That forward 1 opening cleanly and a full combo. Command grab, of course. Really good combo ender here. And now no meter.
Oh, no. Was that an intentional whiff counter poke setup? That was disgusting. Okay, now 1 hit.
Mix up time.
Mix of the dream. That's plus 10,000 on hit. I'm actually not too sure about that. And
that's a lot of respect. I like that. I think Golly was definitely expecting Fester to challenge after that meterless leg kebab. It's not as plus as it used to be, but happy to sit there and wait for the down 1, take the turn. Good stuff.
Love the pushback on that as well. That's what's great about that leg kebab is it's not much of a risk. He kind of has built-in safety to Baraka's pressure. Get to add in some mind games of Blood Lunge now, and that was a bold grab.
Oh, the delayed forward 1! Has to be a break. Surely will be a break here. Yeah, waits for the jump first, just to potentially avoid the uppercut that was going to happen. However, full combo here. That's not going to be much, but it's going to be better than nothing. Keeping them standing too, so unbreakable. That was 200 times 2, right? So here we go. Corner position.
Oh, so many beautiful little resets right there. Gollywomp using the hit advantage of the amplified Hellspark so perfectly right there. Because you can throw a back 2, you can throw a sweep, you can get up in their face, and he was doing some wonderful things.
Oh, there's a good teleport out the corner. So much respect being established here from Baraka. However, a forward 1 to connect. Fester consistently, when that forward 1 connects though, not able to get a full combo because the breaker is always ready. Not so much now though. And the harassment, that 4, that standing 4, the range on it, so good. And now, oh, in a minute, he's trying to challenge. Flawless block.
That's right. What a mind game that is. You have to throw. What a flawless block from Golly. So confident in it that 1-1-2 came instantly. And oh no, that will be all she wrote.
Boom.
As long as the execution is there for Fester. That was a little bit of a swag ender. Was that optimal that I just haven't seen before? To do the forward one string after the jump in? That was gorgeous.
Yeah, no, normally
possibly corner only.
I'd see some kind of jump in. I mean, it looked a little bit corner only, at least to get the forward one. Normally, I think it relies on the back two to reach it. And actually, Fester looking real clean off that first match. And I think one thing that really, really paid off was the forward one. Reason being, you got a command grab, and Fester wasn't afraid to use it. Not just being a command grab, but a mid one. Mid command grabs are a rarity in Mortal Kombat 11. So Fester having that forward one that is extremely confirmable. You know, it's a very slow string. You have lots of time to turn it into a combo. That if you are going to establish the threat of mid command grab as often as he did, I mean, look, the variation's called Biohazard. Maybe there's a fan there. You know, I like command grabs. I'm not afraid to use it. And actually, are we going to see a different variation for the Baraka? That is Blade Charge plus Spikes. Doesn't go in with it. That's going to be the same one that we just saw. Mix up. Increased strings? No? Okay.
Yeah, he was looking at the extended strings, which is kind of interesting. Like I noted earlier, the range in this matchup really in Collector's favor when you look at the buttons.
Yeah, I agree completely. I mean, the increased buttons for Baraka might have somewhat helped that. How much they would have, I'm not entirely sure.
The extended down one's still going to not really challenge the stand 4 range. I don't think you're going to be able to kind of hit Collector's foot at the range that he's been establishing it. And at the same time, it hasn't been much of a ranged battle once Fester's gotten going. It's just been hit and go.
Hang on a minute, though. Another full combo, this time calling out the break. Oh! That is a weakness of Collector. Forward one is very, very whiff punishable. And I think in a lot of cases, Collector players will kind of just commit to the rest of it, because if you're going to try and punish it, they might just clip you. That's kind of what happened there. Really good stuff. And look how much damage has already been dealt. The delay. Oh, my lord. The stagger, the forward one into the command grab and chasing it down.
Oh, and that's still punished.
Lost. I mean, are you unfamiliar with this matchup? When's the last time you fought a Collector of this caliber? I don't think anyone can answer that question.
Look like a deer in headlights right now. That's exactly the case. When has he ran into a Collector like this before? And I like that we haven't seen the relic lore. He's just doing the damage. Collector, you know, kind of eats a forward 4 there, but he has that inherently built-in damage to where he hits about 300 before you can even break away.
Overcommit
but it hasn't really come into play.
Mix up. Now, a good chance for Baraka.
Hey. Oh no.
Uh-oh. Jump over. Nope, just keeps the mid-screen. No break this time. And actually, wow, just the standing 3. Some enders that I'm not particularly familiar with here. The cancel. Again, the respect. So much of it.
Woo!
The down 2. I mean, Collector's anti-air, don't forget, that down 2 is fantastic. Minus frames. Doesn't want to get opened up by that.
What a call out.
That command grab has been the bane of his existence, because trying to escape it has been eating forward ones for days. Are we going to see more command grabs here from Fester? I mean, is it almost a 50-50 at this point? More respect being shown. The combos have been doing most of the damage. You can afford to take command grabs, not the forward one. Oh, speaking of which, oh no!
That was unfortunate right there. Gollywomp thought that he finally had the right read right there on the finish of the string of 3-3-4. Thought that the reversal lunge was going to work. It still didn't. It's abuse from that distance from Fester, but here we go. Pressure's on here in the corner. Mixes are working. That slight patience, so good. Looking for the wake-ups and the potential freakouts from Fester here, whose life deficit's dwindling. No teleport. Holds the mace.
So much respect.
And another command grab. So much respect.
At this point, he's happy to hold the command grabs. It is the forward one that's going to do the damage. Can't get a full combo there, though. Caught him jumping. Oh, no! Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That down 2? Oh, the breaker! That was a 50-50. That was a 50-50. Do I break straight away? Do I break straight away? Or not? Because in that case, the breaker reset the scaling, right? Which meant the down 2 did pretty much pure raw damage.
Yeah, pure raw was at 140?
I think so. So if Gollywomp didn't break reading the down 2, there is a potential that you would have had like a couple of % left. But if you didn't, you know, and that was an entire mind game. That was an entire mind game.
Yeah, that's so scary.
What would you have done? That was absolute 50-50.
Probably,
I think you're gonna uppercut or
probably not. That and took it down 2 through my armor. If I'm being honest with you, yeah.
Because let's just look at the potential, right? Because If you break straight away and the down 2 does come out, it unscales, you're dead.
It's such a 50-50.
If you read the down 2, you can sit there and take it and maybe live. But if they didn't down 2, that's a full combo.
Let's look at the other side. And for Fester, that ended up being the smartest thing possible because only one of them was a little bit of a risk. What he did was 100% safe. He was getting it either way. This is mine. Good luck. And so for him, it wasn't really a mix-up. It was Gollywomp, the one sitting there going, uh-oh.
What is going on? I'm going to take this dice, right? I'm going to roll it, and then boosh, straight on the table. That was good. Got to give Fester absolute shout for that one because that collector looked clean and so confident as well. I think that's going to be a nice matchup for collector because you're going up against someone that, this character does not have very good movement. This character is going to be sort of forced to play at your range, which I don't imagine is extremely common as collector, especially when you look at the more prominent characters in competition. But in this one case, you're able to do exactly what you want to do. And by taking that opportunity, completely ran away with it. Let's have a look at the bracket actually, so we can see what the journey is going to be. K-Top defeated Kitana Khan 2-0 already. Kitana Khan out of the competition. Not very often that you see Kitana Khan drop that early, but hey, look, it's K-Top, which now means Zyppery going up against Gollywomp. So that's going to be Noob Cybot versus Baraka. Like, good lord. Baraka has had to deal with ranged characters today, I tell you what.
That is that not a run back from round 1 of last week? Let me pull up the bracket from last week. It was Zyppery versus Gollywomp in round 1, and it was Gollywomp that took it over Zyppery. Or sorry, not last week, 3 weeks ago here on PlayStation Fight Nights.
I didn't want to say it.
It felt like it. I'm used to commentating MK every week. I can't help it. I'm so sorry.
No, me too, right? Our times have changed, my friend.
Don't hold that against us.
No, please don't. I swear we're professionals. Anyway, Murko. Oh, hang on. Wait. So you win your first round, and now you're getting thrown straight into the fryer because it's now going to be Murko with the Scorpion. However, is Murko used to a matchup like this? Is that level of collector going to be a secret weapon today? I cannot wait to see. But I think also, as we go into this match, I believe it will be Murko versus Fester up next. Because we did have to have a bit of a switch for our first round of matches, Fester's going to be able to go straight in from one match to another, if that's the match that we have next on stream. As soon as we know, don't worry, we'll bring it up and we'll find out. But then Macaron versus Omi. So really very expected players in this, but Fester really being the sort of hidden killer perhaps, because everyone else is expected except for this collector. So I wonder if that's going to have with it some strength.
And I liked everything that I saw from Fester too. Looks like he came to bring it. Your catch up, and it most certainly is going to be Fester versus Murko coming up next. And Fester going to be coming in off the win like you mentioned. There's a little bit of extra heat when you can stay hot like that. Off a win, it was really solid, looked comfortable. It was a convincing 2-0. You take it against the previous champion here on Fight Nights, and let's see what he can bring to the table. And it looks like he's trying to represent out here.
No, I think so. And I love it. I love to see it because when it comes to, I think, the competitive journey, especially over the last 10 years, this is the longest spent of any NetherRealm game that is still kind of forefront of competition. We know that, yes, of course, there are high-level tournaments for MKX by the community. There are high-level Injustice 2 by the community. Shout-outs to everyone. I mean, even you, right? I mean, Coliseum, right? But this is still very much like the main game for a lot of people. This is where those specialists will really start to thrive. I mean, actually, look at MKX and how that game's got like 100 variations now, and there's going to be someone out there online at a competitive level with that variation because it's been long enough.
And guess what? In recent competitive MKX, characters are winning that you would look at the screen twice.
Like King Gambler, right? Broodmother Devourer and stuff.
Broodmother Devourer, Warrior Predators dominating. Warrior Predators dominating and was at the bottom of every competitive tier list catch-up. That's all I'm going to say. I'll leave it at that.
I remember Drunken Master, even myself included, really did not rate that variation at all. It turns out now these days.
I mean, Bull Raicho in general, little did we know, is a glass cannon.
Wow, actually, I want to say that overhead there being interrupted looks like the down 3. able to more than compete, and Fester showing a little bit of real matchup familiarity. Love to see how that's what the specialists are all about. You know, oh, that's going to do a lot of damage though, and didn't even have a chance to bring it up. The Reaper, Murko going in for the damage variation, the pretty much just searing rage. But the way Murko uses it, I don't think I've ever really seen a Scorpion player use it the way he does. It's very interesting at close range. And actually, all right, what's it going to be? Staggers. Murko, so patient on defense. Happy to just sit and let what happens. When there's an opportunity to get out, he takes it.
What boldness from Murko right there. He stood his ground and did not blink or flinch in the face of danger. Fester has just been a couple of buttons away though. Even right there. Look, his anti-reaction was there. Wanted the down 2, accidentally got the down 1. Or was going for the bigger pickup on the down 1 anti-airs. He's probably got those, seeing what we've seen already from in every other aspect of his play.
Every time you go for a bag bomb, it's going to be a risk, and Fester knows
one
it.
Of those two.
Oh no, watch out here. Now
most
panic
matchups,
button.
Collectors used to getting away with that string, just swinging his chain, swinging the knives, but against Scorpion, you are never safe when you're whiffing anywhere on the screen. You breathe wrong.
It's going to be a drastically different matchup. Woo! Now the anti-air. Oh, that is clean.
No, stop it.
Stop it, Murko. No. Come on.
Stand 1, stand 4. Now that's optimal.
You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. But the matchup feels drastically different. And I think that is a character thing, but at the same time, I think a player thing. Murko could have seen that last match and been right. That forward one opening the opponent up, that's like where the bulk of the damage comes from. You know, if I want to force my opponent now to go for more than forward 1, that first game showed that completely, because how many forward 1 delay, forward 1 delay, forward 1 delay, blocked every single one of them, because you know your enemy. You've just seen how much damage the forward 1 gets when you squirm out of a grab or a command grab or whatever. Murko's not going to just give that up, and because of which looked more than ready in that first match. And yeah, the same variation, you know, so we're going to have the projectile, the command grab, teleport. How it's going to work against Scorpion, not so sure, but I guess time will tell.
Yep, he's just keeping the same loadout. I respect that too. Looks like he might be a specialist in loadout as well. I like that he brings the bag, looks like, just for the check-in. What a bold start here. Forward 3 in your face. And that's cash out for 300. Every time someone's broken away against Fester, 300 damage is still on the board. That is juicy. It's some juice for Murko to tie us up. And the side switch. He's so good at knowing where to put that opponent optimally. Big buttons. Woo!
And in a lot of these instances where Murko would normally go for like a down 1 or something off 2-1 or maybe 2-1, 2+4. He's holding it. I think it's because Collector has a very, very fast close range mid in back 2, and he's showing a lot of respect. Now Fester just needs 1 hit and it will be unbreakable into Fatal Blow. That's not going to be this round though, as Murko 1 round away. And actually keep in mind, folks, winner of this set makes it into winners finals. Minimum top 3, minimum in the money.
That's right. And so many of these have come down to a minimal situation where Fester's tried to anti-air with down 1s, and the jump in keeps whiffing, he keeps whiffing, and then he loses his turn. Right there, going for the down 2 anti-air, and he started off strong here. That was just savage swings from Murko.
Yeah, overcommitting, or maybe there was a conflicting input. Either way, that's an opening that Fester did not want to give up, as now the back 3 lets
what mind
it
game
rock.
Was that?
Patience.
Did you see that? Just made it a stand 4 full screen and then overhead. He's inventing mix-ups here live.
Look at the damage. I mean, Collector's damage is so good. Oh!
No. Wake up bomb. Wake up bomb in his face, and he was about to take it with a low if it hit. Murko,
yeah, he was looking for forward.
Murko was going for a clip.
Forward 3 to challenge. Oh, dash into command grab. Really good stuff, but it's not going to kill. Wake up 3. Overcommit. Wow!
If that second hit whiffed, this may have been over. That's scary. Fester stays alive.
Is it alive, but barely? Remains to be seen.
Murko, seeing the short up 2 whiff earlier, says I'm not using that again. Goes to the kick to put your horizontal box. Fester.
Oh, there we go. Getting opened up. And actually, hang on. You're only just going to build the breaker. and spends it late, last minute. Wow! Oh, Collector's horrible old feet right in the face as you teleport on the other side. Not good.
They're dirty too. They've been walking the desert of Outworld for the past decade. Shoeless catch up.
Oh no! Wait a minute, Murko. There's a chance here. Lets the whole thing rock. Dash into grab. Haven't seen a lot of the grabs coming out from Murko, but you are going to be nervous. No!
That down two got destroyed, and that will be it in the same reset that Murko took it in round one of this tournament. Hits him with the hit advantage. Dash up throw. GG's. Murko. Looking to reestablish dominance here on Fight Nights.
Aquaman, it's always a feels bad moment when your anti-air loses, and that's how you lose the set. But as a wise man once said, sometimes it just be like that. So in this case, now Festa is now going to get knocked into the lower bracket. I don't know who said it.
Is that what they say in the streets? Is that it be like that sometimes? Something like that.
Yeah, man. Not at the moment though. It's a bit too cold. Everyone's indoors. Got the heating on if you can afford it. But either way, it's going to be 2-0 there for Murko. Now moving on into the upper bracket finals. Not really to the surprise of anyone, but I got to say, Festa gave it a really, really good go. Would like to see if Festa can push forward and maybe even make it into top 4, because I want that to not be the last we see of the Collector today. Thoroughly impressed. Although you're going to have to get through
will be getting the K-Top. K-Top treatment down there, and still waiting to see what the result of Gollywomp Zyppery is. That is a run back from the previous Fight Nights. I like that we're getting some rivalries here starting to brew.
Potentially be a 2-1 situation if it still hasn't finished. But in the meantime, fear not, as it will be Macaron versus Omi up next. Only one of these players can move into upper bracket finals where the comfort zone really starts to set in. You want to get that first place. If you look at these players before, even the likes of K-Top, yeah, it's lower bracket for K-Top right now, but you had to fight Macaron in round 1. K-Top has won these before. Macaron has won them. Omi has been right up there before. Murko has absolutely won these. Like, everyone here is capable of getting first place, and they won it. So that comfort zone of upper bracket, super important, especially for grand finals.
And this matchup, everyone watching from home, is a run back from the last Fight Night as well. We got 2 of them happening at the same time. They met in the lower bracket catch-up, and it was 4 top 4, which was off stream, and Omi took it 2-1.
I didn't even know what character was used because it was off stream. So that could have been a Sub-Zero maybe, especially with the caliber of Sub-Zero that Omi has brought to the table today. I mean, even earlier on, able to take it 2-0 over Kitana Khan. And again, I'm going to sort of rewind a little bit, and I'm going to look at previous entered tournaments, because again, I love to see people getting involved in more than one cup. Again, remember, this is, I've said again like 5 million times in the last 10 seconds apparently, but I'll try to keep that a little bit. But again, it's Mortal Kombat 11 for the most part. Under Night has been entered here, Soul Calibur and Tekken 7. Like, the whole idea of PlayStation tournaments, right? It's to support multiple games. And if we're in the fighting game space, I mean, you can see it, right? Fight Nights. There's so many fighting games covered in these programs. You can even see at the bottom of your screen, right? We have Street Fighter 5 Fight Night Invitational, Tekken 7, Apex Legends Master Circuit. Like, there's
Dragon Ball Fighters as well in the fighting genre.
Every time I've been, obviously Apex isn't a fighting game, don't worry, I know. I'm just referring to the fact that, hey, look,
there's matchups, there's data.
Look, arena style FPS, even if Apex isn't like 100% arena FPS, it's got a little bit of that dynamic, right? You've got the movement, you got the execution. It's just the way it goes. But my whole point though is that if you want to get involved in all these programs, there's more than likely going to be a game for you. So, to risk sounding like a broken record, as it were, just go to compete.playstation.com. The beauty of this whole program is that it's done through the system. Like, you can do it all through the system itself, and that's easier than it's ever been. We've said this before, Aquaman, but I kind of wish it was that easy when we used to compete, because
sure enough,
it was a different time back then. If I could do it all through my PS4 or PS5.
Different technology, different top tiers.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Unless that cabal, some things never change.
But good times nonetheless, just like we're still having good times. Omi, Macaron, the run back.
Who's going to win it this time, though? That's the question. They always say you're only as good as your last tournament. And even though it went a certain way last month, been time since then. And two players of this caliber, unlikely that history will repeat itself. Either that or I've just completely cursed it for poor old Macaron. I think Macaron's likely going to go Scarlet here, but I am curious. Omi has at least 4 tournament level characters. I'm going to remind everyone: Sub-Zero, Jackie, Jade, and Frost. Frost being the latest character that Omi has been using. So that was the most recent pick.
And chat favorite, if I could be honest with you.
I like Frost.
People go crazy for Frost.
They do, especially if the Frost player is using.
Oh, okay.
Wait, hang on a minute.
Oh, wait, okay.
All right,
okay,
we might hidden.
This is happening. No, this is happening. This is happening right now. We've just manifested something, but I don't know what's happening on the other side of the screen.
They're reacting to each other's character picks, is what's happening. So I think we might see a hidden cursor.
Yo, what is that Jackie armor? Man, that was clean.
No, look, I told you. And now is Macaron going to pick Cetrion for the safety? You know, of all the characters Omi could play, I think Cetrion might stand a better chance against all 4 of them. And now Omi, hidden cursor. I reckon.
What do you think? What do you think?
I think so.
I think Sub-Zero too. Yep.
Oh,
Deep freeze, creeping ice. And this is the matchup. Not only, did he just pick right, but this is what he's warmed up in. Just took out Kitana Khan 1 round prior in this matchup. Macaron accepting the challenge of saying, but doesn't have a Cetrion like me.
That's going to be quite a bold statement, as Kitana Khan has been a long-standing Cetrion main for this point. Macaron, this may be sort of a pocket Cetrion, but it's still more than good enough. Gets the neutral jump, doesn't quite get it meaty enough to full combo though, as now the rushdown begins.
And if there's one thing that I can see and say right now, it is people got to stop testing Macaron's anti-air reactions. They have been on point from start to end tonight and has stopped a lot of momentum with these players.
I do apologize, by the way. I've recently recovered from having flu for a week and a half, so we back in there. The grind never stops, and neither does it for Macaron, apparently, as 1 round already on the board and looking like a different kind of matchup here, Aquaman.
Interrupts the ice ball and back to full screen. You going?
Ouch!
That hurts. That hurt me.
So good.
Oh. The rib cage, everything, man. Goes underneath.
There's more. The low profiling.
I thought that was a mid. Catch up.
Well,
catch up.
Mids are a myth, my friend. Overhead. Wait a minute.
So, hear me out. If Mortal Kombat puts out mythologies again, will there be no mids in the game?
Oh, dearie me. Is that where we are now? We're making dad jokes. Oh, watch your head. Watch your head as Omi takes that forward too. And Macaron, looking like he was going to run away with game 1, is instantly and thoroughly Sub-Zero'd. Speaking of mythologies, lovely.
Absolutely. Perfect segue there. And a big resource for Omi. That's what he needed to seal the deal, to even be in this position. It's only game 1. Strong start from Macaron. He's going bullying to the corner. I have expected pressure, a little bit of pinata action, but that is the risk. And speaking of risk, Omi bets it all on a
raw tornado before it even had a chance to come out. Sub-Zero sliding into the heavens right there. There's now a Hell's Wrath. More damage to be done. Flawless block. Oh, with punish though.
That ball. Unfortunately, he's going to pick up.
Oh my lordy. Aquaman, what a pickup
Put him on the team. Put him on the team after that one. That was ridiculous. Omi, the back one, sniping him out of the sky. And here we go. Didn't have the meter in time. Didn't believe. 1 hit apiece. Snipes him with the back one. That's all she wrote. In a down 2, doesn't even matter. Just the string and Omi. What a comeback. The homie Omi showed up to play catch up. Both fight nights that we've had him on back to back.
Look, today is looking like a new Omi. We've known that Omi has been super high level for so long, but there's just something about the performance today that is looking like there's that next level, that step above. Omi's been a grinder for a long time, and we're talking as if the set
where
is
he
over.
was always
obviously.
there before, right? And now it looks like he's had the experience of playing in these so much, and that's a huge shout out to PlayStation for putting on tournaments like this to give these guys experience, because experience really is one of the biggest factors that's going to determine really anything that you do with this game, guys. And I mean, I even say that as a commentator. Catch up. Do you want to be a better commentator? Commentate. It's called experience.
Practice. Get involved in community stuff.
Yeah, getting in there, getting in the lab, and these two get in the lab, they take it into tournament, they apply that, grind it out, and then in these pressure situations, the more you're in these situations, the easier it becomes. On paper, anyway. Some people can struggle in those situations to overcome, but that's everyone's personal battle.
I'll never forget the words. I'll never forget the words of the late Christopher Lee. The only way to learn is by doing it. That's it.
That's right. And that man
Apply
did
that
it all.
to anything.
And that man did it all.
Yes, he did.
What a legend.
Yeah, my hero. Anyway, as we go into this next matchup, is there going to be adaptation here for Macaron? We could see a little bit of the Scarlet. I think there was some consideration. Do I go for this other character? Do I go with the main or do I stick with Cetrion? Looks like the latter has been the option here for Macaron. Is it going to work out? Looking good so far, but again, the matchup itself lies in damage. Damage that Sub-Zero will get so much more of. And not to mention the comeback mechanics because of it, especially with Fatal Blow. Omi, down on health, but look, 1 or 2 touches and that's going to stabilize. Macaron shutting down, but no confirm on the low there. Omi, an opportunity to get even more. But the stagger. Wow. Oh, no. Watch out.
Oh, didn't have the bar pressing out with back 2. And now everything he is pressing just seems to be hitting like he can do no wrong. There's almost not even something different to what he's doing. It's just there's something about today. There's something in the air. He's finding the hits.
The decisions are quick. I can't see
no hesitation.
A shred of hesitation. Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, to be honest. It's a good thing you did, because apparently I can't even say mouth. But look, this could be the final round. Omi is looking real good. There's just so much commitment and confidence in these decisions. Oh, the whip punish, back 1. What are you doing pressing buttons against me, sir?
And how many times did they do that exact backdash back 1 against Kitana Khan as well and found some success? I can't talk anymore either, catch up. Yo, no, it's running!
Sorry, mate, my lack of skill is infectious, apparently. The back 1 connects again. Not the first time, might not even be the last, but it could be the last breaker that we see from Macaron, who is in big trouble. Looks for the delayed back 3, doesn't quite manage to get it. Macaron, the 1-1, pushback at least. But at this range, who's even going to be at advantage? Yeah, Cetrion has options, but you just don't want to get hit by a single ice ball. And now there's a lot of respect. Macaron knows the risk is high. Fatal Blow's ready, but at this health, I don't think it's going to kill yet. Even now, that's why Macaron didn't commit to it just now. If it connects, overhead, Omi does it! Yes!
Omi is going to back-to-back take it over Macaron here in Fight Nights and summons the ice cream truck once more. Everyone, get it while you can. Get it while it's hot before he goes into his next stop, which happens to be Winners Finals.
It was an interesting start to the series because the hidden cursor and the battle of who picks what first, I think that really benefited Omi because Macaron, you could tell, I mean, maybe we're overanalyzing it a bit too much, but seeing Macaron on character select hover over Scarlet for that long, that can often suggest that someone's thinking about it, right? That they look for a character, they're sitting there for a bit. Yeah, it could have been they just so happened to hover over a character, but experience has taught us to think otherwise. And I feel like Macaron was considering Scarlet and chose not to. Yes. 2-0 for Omi. If there is a rematch to be had later down the line, I do not think we'll see the Cetrion versus the Sub-Zero again. I feel Macaron will change characters.
Yeah, that was a scary spot for Macaron too, because that was when guarantee yourself into the money territory. He can still have a path where he doesn't get into the money because of that pick at 1-0 because it was a first to 2. Scary for him to tell himself. It was a lot of confidence to say stick with the first choice in what makes me more comfortable against Sub-Zero.
But either way, it's looking like a really nice bracket so far. Speaking of which, actually, we're going to pull this up and have a look at the remaining matches. Gollywomp defeated Zyppery 2-1. Our guess of it being a 2-1 was correct, Aquaman. As now, Macaron and Gollywomp have to go head-to-head. K-Top defeating Festa 2-0. I want to give one final shout-out to Festa, bringing that collector to this level of play. Did yourself proud, and I'm sure you made some fans in chat. K-Top, though, first into the top 4. Only one player remains to make it into the money. So a lot to play for still. Murko versus Omi. We could have a straight up matchup from 1992 in Scorpion versus Sub-Zero perhaps. But while we prepare for our break, I want to let everyone know, as we have been saying all stream long, compete.playstation.com. This is how you get involved in the program that you're seeing before you right now, whether it's Mortal Kombat 11, whether it's a different fighting game, whether it's a different genre of game, there's going to be a game for you. So get involved. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, do it. No reason not to. The only thing you lose is your time. And if you're going to be playing games anyway, you may as well give it a go. So we're going to go for a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be concluding the European action and figure out what the top 4 is going to look like.
What is going on, everyone? I'm Mr. Aquaman, and welcome back to PlayStation Fight Nights December. Happy holidays from us over here. Hope you're enjoying the Mortal Kombat action, as most of this bracket has transpired, and we're getting in to the top four here. Some more Mortal Kombat action on the way. But before we're going to do it, I do want to give a huge shout out to the community Discord. Join the PlayStation Tournament's community Discord to find regular updates on esports events, articles, videos, and meet others to improve your game with. Check it out right there on the screen. You guys can join. There's a QR code. You can just pull out your phone, scan that, join the Discord, or join the link right there.
And also, don't forget to rack up wins in PlayStation tournaments through all of December and January for a chance to win prizes, like the new DualSense Edge controller on PS5 or PS5 consoles on PS4. Sign up on console and start competing for prizes today. Full rules can be read on compete.playstation.com. It's a good time to be playing all kinds of video games, I reckon, and what better reason to describe such with the rest of our bracket here for Europe. And to remind everybody, it's not just Europe that we're doing. We're going to go for a break, and then we're going to return later with North American activity. So, more Mortal Kombat for everyone. We're going into our upper bracket finals at Command, and although it's been best of 3 all the way through, the final stage of the bracket will be 3 out of 5. So we're going to have extra wiggle room here between Omi and Murko. Also, character-wise, match up straight out of the first Mortal Kombat, mate. 1992 style.
Ooh, we're going to get the classic here. First match, guys. This is top 4. Or sorry, yeah. This is technically top 4, but really a top 3 matchup here in Winners Finals, as loser of this is going to be guaranteed in the lower bracket finals. First character on the screen.
Omi has to be sitting there right now thinking, why is everyone using top 2 against me today? How many of these must I defeat?
Why does everyone keep defaulting to Jackie against Omi here at the character select?
Oh no. We know that Murko knows how to play Jackie.
Unfamiliar of?
I don't know, right? But we know that Murko does have a Jackie. It kind of, no disrespect intended, it's definitely one of the Jackies of all time, right? Like it's there. It's a rushdown character for a rushdown player. So Murko is able to make it work. Whether it's going to work too well here versus Omi, I guess we'll just have to find out. But yeah, poor old Omi had to deal with 2 Cetrions, now is having to deal with a Jackie. I mean, what's going to come next? Cabal, perhaps? Daring today, aren't we?
I was born ready.
He's been able to handle the Cetrion so well, but what a tectonic shift in what's going to be thrown at him here in this matchup.
But the benefit of having a Jackie ready to go if you play the aggressive style of Murko is that I do feel like she's kind of low maintenance, because what she does extremely well, even at a basic level. So, you know, if you're going to have a character as a secondary, perhaps, or someone that you can use when the time comes, she's not a bad pick at all. It's one of the reasons that she's so good, because she's so versatile.
Oh, stop it with that one. He did dash up, down 4, backdash, slide. That's animalistic when you think about it, but that's what's been working for Omi. He's just kind of been feeling it. Aggression from Murko has been paying off. Doesn't land the hits that we see up the straight hits. Yep.
I mean, you're not going to be able to play as much of a grounded game, right? Omi has been playing so well against the Cetrions, but Jackie is just inherently such a different character that you're going to have to start playing a little bit differently. And if Omi's been all tournament long playing a certain way, Jackie is going to force your hand, as it were. Either way, Murko taking that first round. I do wonder what it is about the matchup that just makes Murko want to pick Jackie instead. Maybe he just feels like it, maybe not.
And towards the end there, Omi got a couple of down 1s that he didn't jail off of. He actually did down 1 and hesitated on hit into a back 3, allowed him to jump, missed out on the opportunity, and before was overcommitting on block after down 1 as well. So he looks a little lost in the sauce.
Either way, we're building up those slide crushing blows and just trying to take damage where we can get a delicious up 2 there from Murko.
So good because of the angle. It was the god kick of Sub-Zero. Flawless.
That's looking real good for Murko so far. Jump back, and the speed of the dash punch is going to bring him forward into game 1. And this is the kind of situation where it's good for Omi now that we're in upper bracket finals, that we're in best of 5, because you have so much more room to adapt. And, you know, I know that's super layer 1 to even say, but we've gone the entire tournament fighting Cetrion. We've been playing a certain way. It's been working absolutely wonderful for Omi, but now you're going up against someone entirely different, both in character and in playstyle. So if you're going to go for a different character,
Frost time.
You know, if you're going to swap your gameplay drastically, at least you've got the opportunities. And yeah, you are absolutely on the money.
Yes. With the air thing, what's that called?
Is it the dive bomb style?
Yeah, dive bomb.
Yeah, there's all kinds of different frost that people like to use. The ones that use the bomb, you know, Cyber Sub-Zero style.
Ooh, not bringing it. Yeah, air ice quake. Is that what it is?
I think so. I'm not the frost player between Mustard and myself.
I would bring it for the air priority in this matchup. Absolutely.
I think it's the only move that she has that's airborne. I think. I can't think of anything else. Either way, let's find out.
I think that she needs an air auger that shoots down slowly.
Really slowly. Barrier in a diagonal. Yeah, sure.
At a 45-degree angle to just like Quan Chi's skull.
If frost players were just down for you on hit at max range in the corner and then instant jump with it, what are you going to do?
Instant air auger.
Oh, a combo drop there from Murko, actually.
Ooh. Is that going to pick up? Yes, Omi.
Overcommits, though. Thankfully, because it is a high and it is forever active, it's a bit weird to punish it, so the down one. We're going to take that to be safe. Whoa. Ow!
She got past the auger at least. Yager the bomb.
Be enough. And that is the... Oh, the auger is so important for Frost because she is extremely vulnerable to flawless block. It is the drill that can interrupt, right? It can plug those gaps. And you have to against someone like Murko who's going to flawless block you to hell and back. Full combo now.
That was insane how he was able to just dominate and is dominating Jackie right now. Can he even play the game right now? No! This is all Omi. Some of the greatest Frost corner pressure I have seen in Control. He has swung into an Oblivion and he will die for it. That was absolute decimation right there, Ketchup. Omi on the board. Game 1 never happened.
Range, and more range. Being able to absolutely enforce what Frost is able to do while staying at a distance that Jackie does not have many opportunities at all.
Have you ever seen Murko whiff 13 times in a round?
I mean, look, I think the Jackie might have had something to do with that. Look, what I don't want to be disrespectful.
Don't blame it. Don't you dare blame this on her T-Rex limbs. Don't you dare.
No. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, I think Murko was lost in the sauce.
Oh, absolutely.
You know? I think you've got access to all these buttons and you just want to go in. And then out of nowhere, here comes...
I think that was one of those instances where someone was just on their stuff and everything worked. And sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, that happens.
We have gone for another character change here. Murko wants to be able to compete with that range, you know. And actually, hang on, wait. No teleport cancel. It's Searing Rage.
Damage. This is the Murko that we love, though.
Oh, yeah.
Give us that death spin.
As like I said before, this variation of Scorpion, there are players out there that use it, but the way Murko uses it is so different. It's mostly...
Can Frost back 2 punish?
Ooh, counter hit. Wait a minute. Eesh.
Juicy.
This Frost just looks better and better the more I see it, honestly.
That down 4 hit incredibly high.
The trade. It looks like it was going to be advantageous at the very least. Ooh. Surely that had to have been a forward dash that just did not come out there. The down 4 pressure lets the whole thing rock. That's where you can overcommit. It's great.
That was forbidden, man. I think that was working on anyone catch up. And another dominating round from Omi.
It's because you're always going to expect the auger now. You're always going to expect the auger because Omi has been covering those gaps in the strings with it.
The down 4? That's the second time he's clipped overhead. I don't think I've ever seen anyone else's down 4 deal with it quite like that. The restand. Flame on. Wait a second.
Damage buff as well. Oh, that's a whole launcher. Oh, tries to go for the micro burst, but he has the defensive bar just in time. Lovely throw tech. And unfortunately, does not get anything you wanted from that advancing mid there. That could have been so much more. Yeah, the crushing blow's already been used, but wait a minute. Full confirm. That's going to be a jump over and a full combo. No breaker for Murko now. What's next?
Gorgeous execution. Back to his dominating position here. Looking to impress something right there. There's going to be a punish. Wow. Did not have long to determine what was going to punish right there. Ended up being right. One more read is going to be needed. Murko, he's going to get wet and wild. Fatal blows available. And the teleport reaction. Enough for the kill. I'm so scared. Punish! And of all of the things, an auger doesn't find its mark. One of maybe the 4,000 that he's tossed that hit air to give enough space and time for Murko to teleport.
I can totally believe why Omi went for that neutral jump, though, because we've been watching Murko all day long, that the sets were closed out by those last-minute throws. In this case, wasn't to be had. Whiffs it, doesn't quite manage to get the whiff punish, though, but the meter will be lost. Overcommits to the advancing high. That will be a full combo punish. It's an extremely risky maneuver there for Frost players. Doesn't want to overcommit there. That teleport would have come out. You know it would have.
Oh, Flawless block had the opportunity, I think. It looked decent, and I'm shocked at how much that down 4 has stopped really Scorpion's answer to it. On paper, anyway.
A lot of respect. Oh, the down 1 narrowly comes out. That would have been a full combo for Omi had Murko been hit by it. Thankfully, able to trade it out with that low poke. Wait a minute. Nice to get more damage. I mean, I understand why. You don't want to just forward to it. I think it's the forward 2, the advancing jab.
Yep. The yeet. Oh, speak it up.
Ouch.
What damage for you? That was a bold teleport.
Dead.
Even bolder throw, still alive.
Oh!
Hey, we'll take those. We'll take those right now. This is some juicy damage. Frost is going to need at least some kind of miracle sequence here. Still needs probably 3 to 4 hits, knowing Frost. But we believe in magic here, Ketchup. We believe in magic.
10 seconds on the clock as well, actually. Murko, are you going to just sit and block?
Wait.
No. The grabbing is
Is that it?
Yes!
With 2 seconds on the clock, and that will be... GG! Down 2-1. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It actually might just be Omi being ridiculous tonight, Ketchup. It might just be that factor, the Omi factor. We didn't know it existed until now.
It is just looking like Omi's day, isn't it? Off the back of, a game like that. The second I saw that clock and I was like 10 seconds and 9 seconds on the clock, is Murko actually gonna maybe, sometimes players in that situation will then instantly just block above all else, right? You'll take a throw if it comes out, you'll try and react if you see it. Murko did not do such a thing. It was running out of time and was still fighting, still swinging, got clipped by a couple of things that then led to a last minute split down the middle, of who's going to have that last shred of health.
And there wasn't even an escape attempt, right? It was just a pure hold of pressure, or maybe he was reading, a quick short hop to try to get the health lead as well, etc.
It does happen, especially in the online realm. I'm not particularly sure about Frost's short hop attacks.
I don't think I've ever seen her do a short hop, if I can be honest with you.
I can only assume there's a reason for that, but
What does her short hop look like?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Punch and kick. I have no clue.
I seriously can't remember. But either way, Murko starting to be a lot more aggressive in this game and now jump into the throw. This is a man on a mission, someone who wants to keep themselves in that upper bracket. The throw tech to say, get off me. Another one back to back. In this case, reads the down 1 perfectly and is able to force the turn back into Scorpion's play. And yeah, this is a drastic difference, but there's the up 2 to answer back and punish. Omi, we saw the comeback last time.
This is what it looked like before, and it started with a fatal. Rare drop from Murko. Those anti-conversions have been clean.
Omi pressing down 1 on the +2 of the 2-1. That's brave in the anti-air. Don't get hit now. Looks for the delay. Doesn't want to anti-air.
That was an even bolder jump on that one. That was down during the fatal into GG's, my friend. You be careful.
Let's the whole thing go, but hang on a minute. Oh, narrowly. Murko did allow Omi to live with just a mere % of health left, but did not pay for it, was able to take the round. This could very well be a game 5, the way things are currently going. Would not be surprised.
I hope so here.
Wow!
One of the few that he's done.
Ooh.
Short. Stop it.
What is going on? Oh, delay! Murko now eats it. Oh, tries to go for a bit more damage. Omi drops the combo. And that is going to be an opening. 2-1-2. Lets the whole thing rock. I mean, the buff was going to run out anyway. gives us an opportunity to re-engage. In this case, Omi takes the full combo. Good damage. Murko now knocked down by the mortar. Bonus damage. We'll take it where we can get it.
Yeah, sit down. You're going to play at my pace here. Uh-oh, that's 120. 156, never mind. That was a command grab.
Tries to mix it up. Gets hit by the second hit, but Omi would have had to have been psychic to commit that into a micro burst or something similar. No teleport. All overhead, though. Goes for the... Oh! Squeezes out a down one. And just as we had hoped, Aquaman, we're going into a game 5 here. Last game. But oh my lord, this has, without question, been the series of the day so far. I'm having a great time.
Absolutely. This is a fun one. And even that one, down to the wire. You could feel the pressure of Omi's comeback in the air in both of those rounds.
Here's the question. Do we stay with Frost? Or, because it's the final game, do we go for something a bit more filthy?
Hmm.
Do you want to put someone into a best of 1 Sub-Zero match?
I would say, was Murko, showing that he maybe doesn't like this particular matchup in that game 1 because he didn't come out of the gate with Jackie and Omi? That game 1 might be the key to his victory, having won the potential counterpick war early on, if it comes down to this.
This is going to be it, being able to pull ahead. Going in for the Frost after the first loss, and then the Frost being able to secure the back-to-back game win. So you kind of took that counterpick situation, you were able to force it into your own favor. Just that in such a manner, the timeout, that match might have meant quite a lot. But either way, Murko now, you have to put so much more commitment into these teleports. So this variation does not have the teleport cancel. A neutral jump though for Omi. All right, we're going to begin. No break from Murko, actually, just letting it rock.
The raw boot right there, and does that jump kick so early, making it hard to anti-air.
Caught.
Similar application of pressure to Frost with the Sub-Zero. Domination in the corner.
Well, there's definitely a similarity there, isn't it? Especially if you play both characters at this level of play. Murko now able to get decent damage and then some. Advantageous now in the corner. Lets the whole string rock, and Omi gets clipped for it. Oh,
that was animalistic.
Clipped forward.
Animalistic. It was wake up. It was almost a wake up trip guard forward two, with how well it was timed.
Omi now.
Disgusting.
Match point, Aquaman. We had an idea that this might happen. One game left to go. Are you going to force someone to guess? Punish! And now that's a second slide. One more of those and it's crushing blow damage. Murko has got to be so careful not to give those situations away like that. Oh, speaking of which, oosh, 35%. Thank you very much.
Pressure's on too. Look at the no fear in Omi's play at all. Pressure's still on. Backdash back one. Gets another victim on the night. This is huge for Murko. He's been able to get some great pressure going and some great sequences in the corner himself. Can Omi escape? Both have the same idea. We're trading. It's the classic here. Is that going to be enough? No. No KB loaded. One more hit is all it's going to be.
Does he go fatal blow? Yes, he does. Murko gonna really cash out as much damage as you can in this situation, because in theory, a good grounded hit will lead to unbreakable damage into the round win. Actually, no, speaking of which, Murko doesn't have any meter, so perhaps I spoke too soon. I talked about this being a 1992 matchup. How about ending it with a straight up uppercut, Aquaman?
Raw uppercut at that. In the full eye of the Scorpion Storm. He down two'd. Out of a back three. What a way to close that one out for Omi, who has gone from finally getting a W in the last fight nights to in prime position. Guaranteed top 2 already with a performance like that.
It has been a phenomenal showing. This tournament's not over. There is still a chance, for there to be someone else. But when you get grand finals on the winner's side or the upper bracket side, however you call it, you've become the favorite to win. And with how Omi's been able to play today, I am thoroughly impressed Because I mean, let's just look at the journey, right? You took out Kitana Khan, you took out Macaron, and now you've just defeated Murko. The manner of which you defeated
that was
Murko,
top 3 last week, wasn't it? Or sorry, I keep saying last week. Oh, I keep saying last week. Last month.
Not quite. I know Kitana Khan and Murko, I think, was top 2.
Mako. Yeah, Mako got 5th last week. You're right.
Yeah, but who defeated Macaron? Who defeated Macaron though that week? that month? It was Omi. It was.
We're screwed, ketchup.
Yeah, we're done for.
Yep.
We're gonna get replaced next time, I promise.
Oh, for sure.
It's Macaron versus K-Top now. To remind everyone, it is just upper bracket finals, lower bracket finals, and grand finals that would be best of 5. This match between Macaron and K-Top will become best of 3. It's the final one before we go into best of 5 to finish things off, and it's a run back.
And what a run back it is.
Defeated K-Top 2-1. Is history going to repeat itself? There is money on the line between these 2 matches. You know, whoever places higher gets more money. It's as simple as that. And now things matter just that little bit extra, I think. Aquaman?
Absolutely. Macaron, K-Top, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead get into this one. Catch up. K-Top, is he going to bring something different from that first encounter? Because Macaron's Cetrion was looking pretty juicy towards the end.
It was.
And it was the Cetrion pick that kind of surprised us in that one, I think. To me anyway, because I've watched far less of you than you have.
The Cetrion pick surprised me because I haven't seen it from Macaron in some time. Now, to be completely fair, that could just be a matter of I haven't seen Macaron play in a while. There is always community leagues taking place on the internet. The more prominent one in Europe being Rips Arena, for sure. Macaron playing in that almost every week, multiple times a week, at this point. So there's always a chance that, I'm sure someone out there might be like, no, he's been playing Cetrion a lot more. Would totally believe it. But I haven't seen it in some time personally. I think that it likely caught K-Top off guard. Because we've seen so much of the Scarlet in recent months, especially kind of throughout the later half of this year. It's been tons and tons of Scarlet. And although the Scarlet really didn't do very well at all in that first game, that's why it was 2-1, to Macaron, because K-Top took that first match. Are we going to see a different playstyle, a different character? I don't know.
And the reason why I said what I did is because the tournaments that I've seen Macaron compete in, he's always kind of stubbornly stuck it out with Scarlet. Bet on those almost same exact things. The stand 1 anti-airs being incredibly prevalent, the flawless block options, and even the same read that you saw, which is just such good anti-Jackie play. But he had answers for every single leap option out of pressure, whether it be instant shrapnel or actual full leap over. You saw one of the coolest reads I like to see, the instant jump 1 at the end. So there wasn't a lot different in kind of how he applied the matchup. It was kind of, I think, just the better buttons and safety of Cetrion that came into play, because it was the whiffing that killed him early on, in my opinion.
Well, you've had plenty of time to sit and ponder it, haven't you? Because now this is do or die. Lower bracket, elimination territory. As we kind of wait for one of our 2 players to be ready. Just quickly let everyone know what the whole double elimination thing is. You might be looking at a bracket thinking, what the hell is this? Basically, it's 2 tournament lives. That's how you look at it. Everyone starts, at least here, you start in the upper bracket, or winner's bracket, as it's sometimes called, most of the time, in fact. And that's your first life. You lose a series, you go into the lower bracket, or sometimes called loser's bracket. That's your last lifeline. This is a lower bracket matchup. So whoever loses this, you're out of the tournament. So it actually brings a interesting dynamic to what a player has to face, because I think versatility is going to get challenged. Your mental status, so you're being able to keep your head in the game, knowing there's kind of more pressure now because this is the last chance. This is the do or die. And some players buckle under that pressure and they can't handle it. This late in a tournament, though, you'll actually find it be the latter. These players have been there, done that, worn the t-shirt, won or lost. Does not matter. They've done it before. So they can tend to bring the absolute A game because you have no more opportunities. And it makes a very exciting series potentially about to happen here.
It's the run back end. K-Top going for the heavens to get started. I guess he read that Macaron wanted the distance, but this man said, no, we're going in with Cetrion, and it's been all gas pedal.
Macaron started the round with forward dash grab. What?
Those are the reads, Ketchup.
That's like the opposite of what a Citron player would do. But hey, that's probably why it worked.
That's exactly why it worked. That's what I mean. K-Top read the space build, and Macaron with that one read has done that. Decimated a health bar before our eyes. And Macaron looking like he's just as comfortable in this matchup as he left off. And I wonder if he has been working on this more, because like I said, all I had seen was Scarlet v Jackie before. K-Top finally coming off all the resources, and it's something Macaron wasn't ready for.
But this is where things change a little bit, because if K-Top aggressively wants to be a bit unpredictable here, it's going to cost him. What I mean by that is a lot of the answers that Macaron has as why he's so good at fighting Jackie is the anti-air reads or reactions on Shrapnel Blast. If you want to read an anti-air, you have to go for another one. Cost meter to do that, doesn't it? So without the meter, how do you advance? Either way, K-Top able to get in there and apply a little bit of damage of his own. The stagger now, letting it go late, holding on to some of that all-important meter, letting the string go 18%. Going to be more, actually, for those 950 health.
But there's the there, and cased in point. Well, he doesn't get the armor break in the restand because Fatal Blow right now looking mighty scary. 2 950 staring each other down right now. Dancing around the screen is Macaron trying to get something. Goes for the throw. He's going to dance again. Up in his face. Like the aggression, and it finally gets him burned right there. Maybe danced a little too much, Ketchup.
It was a scary game to play on both ends. You know, K-Top knows that if I get hit by one of these standing ones, it's going to be a fatal blow, and it's going to be the game.
It was the perfect answer to whiff punish, though, because it was one of the unhittable things that Jackie could do. What's gotten K-Top burned is simply being able to be hit when Macaron just swings with something big.
Opening here, Macaron riskily teleporting yourself into the corner, so hopefully does not regret that. Unfortunately, in doing so, though, has given K-Top this opening. Meeting now with plus frames. Escape failed. K-Top goes for the right kind of grab, throwing him out of the corner. Way harder to tech if you're going to try and make that kind of galaxy read. And K-Top, I do fear at command that Macaron putting himself in the corner with that teleport is what has led to all of this.
Oh, that was a juicy interruption. It was K-Top's turn to say, I'm the bold one, I'm coming up and I'm pressing. And it's going to take him game number 1.
Macaron
much
had
more impressive
all of the
but
screen.
You're right. It was down to that one little decision. And we've seen almost everyone tonight end up in the corner and have some nastiness happen.
It's fighting game 101, isn't it? It's the eternal situation of keep yourself out of the corner. You know, some characters, in a really rare example in some fighting games, might be kind of comfortable having their back to the wall. If you're against Jackie, that's not going to be the case. And Macaron had the entire screen, was looking comfortable, was looking in charge. All of it fell apart the second that teleport near the corner happened. Now, Macaron is last-ditch effort, Scarlet.
Ooh, here we go. Yeah, right. This is life to live, too, because he was in this position in the winner's side. In a 1-2, gone Cetron game 1, and decided to stick it out. But here, with the actual tournament life on the line, this is what I like to see. He's going home. He's going to try to make a blood sacrifice tonight.
You're going to have masses of damage, and that is going to be something you can take away. If you can get those anti-airs, if you can get those interruptions, Scarlet is going to absolutely benefit from that. Speaking of which, here we go already.
Look at this.
Hey, she hits hard no matter what, and Jackie's a 950 health character, so that's going to be something at least that Macaron can take comfort in. If we're going to go all the way, we're going to go out with the main, or maybe we're going to win with it. There's the up 2, lets the whole thing rock, does not get punished for it, thankfully.
And even
there was an opportunity too, but
it is a little bit trickier for Scarlet to convert off of some of those stray stand ones that you're seeing as well with those slower buttons, but not mattering because he hasn't completely whiffed. He needs one more, and yes, that high projectile so hard for, as you can see, even Jackie's leap being hard to deal with that thing.
It's slow moving, and if it hits high up, that's always going to be a good projectile. However, just a raw jump in. K-Top spending every ounce of the aggressive bar just to make that damage happen. Another whiff punish is not going to lead to much. And actually, Macaron, just knows the frames, right? That's not going to be very plus at all. Challenges it, looks for an interruption on the plus frames there on the string, does not get it, and pays for it dearly. Now, Macaron, this is true master situation, a little bit of the heal, hang on, and there's the overhead. Macaron was looking 1% left to go. Whiff punish! Wait,
that's gonna be a lot of damage.
Oh!
Full cash out here. Wait, there's no way. There's no way.
No, it's not going to kill. It's not going to kill.
Decent scaling on that, but Macaron just needs one. Watch your toes, a blood boil. Take to the skies. What a mind game we have here between the two.
Oh my god! Oh my god! K-Top. That whole comeback happens, and then K-Top says, you know what? Nah.
Do you want to know? I honestly think he died because he crouch blocked. I think if he woke up stand blocking, maybe it would have stopped it from the dot going over him. I don't know.
God, that's so clutch from Macaron. Even if the round did not go in his favor, but either way, it's still going to be a match point for K-Top, who was starting to apply that pressure nice and thick. A good trade there for K-Top. Maybe not so much afterwards, though, as you get knocked full screen and take a bunch of damage in the process. The fatal blow for Scarlet is going to be gone. However, at this low health for K-Top, I don't even know if it matters. Speaking of fatal blow, though, it will be K-Top, who has one still good to go, and manages to beat out that up 2 reversal that Macaron was betting so much on. K-Top letting the rest of that string go. Doesn't want to go for the plus frames in case there's an interruption. Aquaman, this is so close. No flawless block to be had. Macaron opened up, but wait a minute. Potential last chance here. Overhead.
That was so wrong. This is going to be enough for the kill. It most certainly is. No defensive bar to save you. He had the other option to hit confirm into armor break, even if he had it too for the guaranteed. That was some clean play from both. I'm starting to sweat a little bit. This is getting
just
intense.
One game. That was just one game, Aquaman.
In one game,
so hard for it.
How many times did we see knowledge on display? I've never seen so many interruptions and so many instant, and I mean instant, recognition of frame data and slight negativity where you need to have had been there in multiple situations to truly know when you can swing, when something whiffs, when you break out of a certain thing. It's so crazy to see them, both of them, react so quickly and challenge and press perfectly in those situations. More times than not. It's been really cool to see. They haven't gotten away with a single gap or anything.
Even down to small examples. Yeah, it's going to be just knowing your opponent's resources, or in some cases, a lack of. We saw K-Top go for the shrapnel blast, double combos, lands a clean mid into another instant air, jumps, shrapnel blast, and everything else. But without amplifying it, Macaron knew that it wasn't really very plus and was able to challenge it with a standing one, and it worked. Just small examples like that are going to go a long way. Now, remember, folks, best of 3, as this is not losers finals or lower bracket finals just yet. So this is the final game between these two. One of them's going home, or staying home, out of the tournament. You know what I mean.
Got K-Top off the resources already. Macaron's got a little bit of momentum. Jackie resourceless right now. This is scary.
Nice anti-air. Flawless block those jump kicks.
That was so optimal. You have to hit that 2 so perfectly after the launch and leave it to someone like Macaron to be consistent with it.
No dash punch punish on that boiling point, actually. Surprising stuff. Normally K-Top on top of those.
That down 2. Hit both side of her. Doesn't get shimmied right there. Stops the fatal blow. And it's going to be a leap. I wouldn't test him either. But he jumped anyway. He jumped afterwards. Right when I thought he wasn't going to be bold, does the regular jump. And that has been a death sentence for everyone tonight, Ketchup. I like the anti-airs I'm seeing. I'm going to say it from start to end from everyone.
It's just been, it has always actually, especially in PlayStation tournaments, a major area of Europe. Rather fantastic in the old anti-air department. Either way now, looking to interrupt and get through. K-Top finds an opening, and we're just going to take the damage. Go straight in for that dash punch. Push in for a little bit more. Macaron, the comeback is always available. We've seen the damage, not only factoring in that Scarlet can heal as well, which has definitely helped Macaron more than once in the PlayStation tournaments here. Match point, though, for the Scarlet so far.
And you see all those little proximity OSs right there and just buffers into the straight projectile, trying to get that health back in. Look at this. Look how much it siphons.
Can't break none of that, even if you could. I know K-Top hasn't got any defensive bar, but so much damage. Kano's just sitting in the back like, bro, that was gross. Looking for maybe an anti-air. No, Macaron doesn't get too eager.
He's in the back saying, take it outside, mate. Teleports out of the corner. Never happened. Fatal blow. We had ourselves an old-fashioned Western standoff, and it's K-Top who gets to the trigger first.
Kano definitely thinking, oh, I had a fatal blow there too. Just make sure you clean up the floor. I say clean up the floor, but basically a tip, innit?
No, that thing's...
All that trash. You got the crusty mattress on the side of the stage. It's disgusting.
I'm telling you, if Mr. Clean walks through that door, he's rage quitting.
He's dying on the spot.
He said, nah, I'm out.
Either way, match point for both of our players now. And there's going to be the instant. The boiling point. Watch your feet there, K-Top. Haven't got a lot of health left to go. One good punish. You know, K-Top's going to have one break in the tank.
Macaron could do no wrong there until it goes for the throw. Look at this punish.
And there's no breaker for Macaron, so all of this is uncontestable. 400 just like that. Whoa! That could have been dangerous. Macaron had somehow known to commit to that flawless block. Too far away for the standing one to do anything. The 1-2, though, in this case, a boiling point. Now Macaron just needs one more hit.
That gives Scarlet such a good knockdown to either build space, close it, or put something out and active, and it's a tongue that says, not today, as Macaron secures another victory, but a close one catch up, 2-1, 2-1 over K-Top today. They delivered us a couple of classics.
I mean, our top four today was a perfect demonstration of what Europe has to offer in the online realm. You know, K-Top, Macaron, Omi, and Murko being the only ones that were left in the tournament. Unfortunately, I do have to speak past tense as K-Top has, as of this moment, just been taken out. But now Macaron versus Omi. Another run back, you know, a run back of a run back of a run back of a run back. And then...
all day long.
Oh, wait, no, sorry, excuse me. Omi is in Grand Finals right now. How could I forget?
How dare you? How dare you?
It's now Macaron versus Murko, which has been a grand finals in its own right many a time. So
Omi's chilling, watching everyone else battle it out. Catch up. He's just up there having a good time. He's probably watching the stream, going, "Look at them fight over the scraps that I left behind."
Pathetic.
That's Omi right now, guys.
Access to Shao Kahn's taunts.
Yeah, we need a Shao Kahn button.
Was pathetic. What's your favorite Shao Kahn taunt? I think it's hard to beat the "it's official, you suck."
I honestly think that's impossible to beat.
It's just so out of character.
Out of character? That's so in character.
No, but it's weird. The emperor of an entire realm using the word "you suck." You know what I mean? Great, love it though. Love it.
That's the emperor I want to follow.
Just maybe not an MK11, perhaps. Don't see the character too much.
Yeah.
Pretty good though. Better than he used to be.
Me and him got other issues. But
oh yeah, because you're a Kotal player. I forgot.
But a character I would love to see on the screen some more, especially after that last patch. VGY, where you at?
I know. I don't even know. I'm normally quite good at keeping up to date with the UK folks, but I'm pretty bad at it these days. Maybe we'll see what happens. You know, whatever happens in the future, we'll love to see more of the UK represent, especially VGY. If you're watching one day, VGY, hello.
Hi, VGY. What was great about those sets between Macaron and K-Top that I want to note is how opposite they went for Macaron. He overcame the same player and problems 100% differently in both games. He tried Scarlet, didn't like it. 2 games straight with Cetrion. The run back came out with Cetrion, falls, goes to Scarlet, makes the adjustment 2 games straight. It was complete opposite, and so what a journey Macaron has had in order to get here. That's pretty wild.
It's impressive, but also a very Macaron thing to do. I said this earlier today that the game's been out for a long time at this point. It's the longest standing as the main, sort of main current title for NetherRealm, right? So we are in a situation where if someone is still playing one of those lesser used characters, or maybe not so considered to be super strong characters, if you're still playing them in 2022, as we are just about to enter the new year as well, you know, it's going to be even longer, you're going to have an attachment to this character. It's going to be a big part of you sort of pulling the skill forwards. Macaron going back in for the Scarlet to win the series was a great way for it to end. But I don't know what we're going to... We have been talking about matchups and characters all day long, and they have just gone in for completely different picks.
Yeah, who knows here? And these two haven't played, at least on here, in a few months.
I don't think so. Not for some time.
One of the rare ones that we get to talk about. The Wild Wild West is going down here.
I want to say Scorpion and Scarlet. I want to say it, but I don't know 100% if that's what we're going to get. I really don't. Could be Jackie and Cetrion for all we know. To mix things up a little bit.
Again?
You know, to keep things interesting. Keep things unpredictable.
Sure about that?
Right.
We're going in. Yes. Do it. Shiva! Okay, man, we were so close. Come on.
I saw Shiva, I got excited. I got
real excited.
Now, Murko, Fireball Scorpion again. And seems to be a rather consistent pick versus those that have that sort of mid-range control, right? We've seen it against Cetrion. We've seen it against Noob Cybot. Now, seeing it against Scarlet too. So we'll add that one to the list. Lower bracket finals. Whoever wins this series moves on to fight Omi in the final matchup of the day. This is best of 5.
We go in. How many times is Macaron going to be right at the start with some pretty wild reads? Just walk back. Fartung knew that he just knows what his opponent's trying to establish early on. I like that he's been kind of ahead in that regard. And Fireball once more coming into play. Has to like it for some trades and like something that you started to talk about earlier. It's a respect thing. Just having it makes your opponent think something, and you could be using that exact thought against them in the match.
And this is the kind of two players that have such an understanding of the game that it is knowledge alone that will aid in a matchup. Macaron is going to know that this is a thing, and he's going to be mindful of it. It's probably not going to. You're not going to be able to exactly take this kind of mentality and apply it to something like a combat league, because maybe not everyone's on the same wavelength. But here, you kind of know who you're up against, and it's a big part of succeeding at this level. Know your enemy, know how they think, know how they react. In this case, pretty even first round. Oh, with grab completely and no button. That was surprising stuff.
Yeah, with that, as much as we've been praising Macaron's reactions, Murko getting away with one.
It's rare that Macaron lets a whiff grab go, let alone like that.
Ooh, close. Maybe. This is Scarlet. The Spear of Leonidas is coming right now.
Oh, this will kill, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Gone like the wind. That did more than the combo did earlier. When he did a long combo... Wait a minute. No, it did. It did more damage. 2 hits and a fatal than a 9-hit combo into it earlier.
You know, that's pretty common knowledge these days, Aquaman, isn't it?
I mean, I know, but come on.
We got into a time machine, Aquaman.
Hey, I'll actually.
Are you talking about the beta?
I'm actually gonna say it needed here, but she kind of needs it.
Hey, I mean, it helps. The damage is one of the reasons that her range game is able to do so well. Either way, though, Macaron far down here, but doesn't need the fatal blow's been used, right? So heal to your heart's content. You're not going to be losing any of those important resources. Ooh, eat the jump kick in its purest form as Murko takes a round on the board. Only game 1, but I'm feeling a back and forth here, Aquaman. I'm feeling it.
And Murko had been feeling confident. He's playing Scorpion to put his opponent out of the corner right there, but we found ourselves right where he wants to be anyway. Fireball! And every time he uses it, I think of why he did it in that situation, and it's just a check. What looks like to have a threat outside of back 3 range. It's that weird range where you don't think that Scorpion's gonna really do anything because he still has to move in order to do something. It's unique.
All of those plus frames, Aquaman. But backing up, a lot of respect.
So many staggers. We're just pressing buttons at this time.
Too low down to get anything significant though, so Macaron quite rightly just goes for the blood projectile. We know that one's going to be nice and guaranteed. No risk of it whiffing. Up 2! That's it. That's the first game. For me, Aquaman, that was a perfect demonstration of what happens when these two go head-to-head. It's always close. It's always highly competitive, but their flawless block execution is almost completely an even split. Like, they're both so good at it. And they are two characters where flawless block is very important when defending against them, that it just creates for a damn interesting matchup. Love it.
What I've loved about these is we're in a time and place where even as a commentator, I get to sit back and appreciate the fact that I can see that jump happen and go, he's going to flawless block it. For years in MK11, we sat here and go, we treated flawless block like a unicorn. So it was so rare to see, and to get on reaction, on a consistent basis has been the bane of almost every competitor player's existence. Well, we're in a point in time where it's getting to that incredibly consistent level to where you almost see nothing but mind games beyond it because of how strong it is and because of how good these players are at getting it. And it's such a beautiful meta to see.
One of the most,
taken extra time to develop.
It's one of the most beautiful things about watching the, now at this point, definitely famous Chilean twins. Their ability to flawless block basically like it's very hard AI and they've been programmed to do it is like, we did not see that even maybe a year ago.
They are playing a different video game than everyone else. And that's the way I felt before, and now everyone has to catch up a little bit, right? Catch up. Now we're like, wait a minute, we got to be robots too? Let's go.
Yeah. I just have to be the best ever? Damn, bro, why didn't you say?
Dang it.
Why didn't I think of that?
No one told me that before.
Now Macaron winning game 1, but not going to be set in stone to win the rest. Again, flawless block, flawless block, flawless block. It's the matchup. It's how they go. Oh, that's disgusting. Always.
That's unblockable.
Absolutely. Oh, that's unblockable
and
too.
He's dead. And he's dead. Just like that.
Nice trick, loser. Eat this.
Oh, quite literally.
Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't really think that far ahead. It's kind of gross in hindsight.
The timing on that one was a little wild. Mac ran up another round.
But again, fatal blow. The fatal blow being used.
No. That was absolutely absurd in so many aspects. Stop it.
Neutral jump just raw like that. Murko was not expecting that one bit, and Macaron does build the meter just in time to cash out extra damage. Murko stands up too early. It's all fallen apart for the Italian Scorpion. Man needs to wake up a little bit. Otherwise, this could be a 2-0. Down one. Whoa.
Oh, no, whoa.
That was a read on an up 3, wasn't it? We were just talking about mind games.
Had just was going for the brutal. Was he going for the executioner?
I don't know.
Brutality, the statement victory. Either way, he's going to get the 2-0 lead.
One more game for Macaron to move into grand finals.
That
get more money and a chance at revenge.
That back 3 flawless block punish.
Yep. We were just talking about how flawless block is a huge part of both of their gameplay. And they've been just proving it all series long.
Proof is exactly the word. Because of that, back 3 from Scorpion becomes a risk that doesn't exist against 99.99% of the player base. It doesn't. You cannot say I'm wrong when I say that.
Now, we have gone in for different variation at command. Burning Spear now. So we're going to have the same gameplay around the teleport cancel, but now Spear buff. This is going to potentially make quite a difference here. We're going to get more damage. Oh. No, did not want that. Did not want that.
Oh, man, that one hurt to see. Oh, out of a teleport, did he mean to down 4, maybe got a negative edge?
I mean, yeah, that was absolutely an input error. There's no way on this earth he wanted a point-blank spear, but thankfully it didn't really cost him too much. In fact, he's just about to take the lead in this round. Back to back threes.
Catch up. We've seen point-blank ice ball.
Yeah, and that's always a mistake too. That's just a happy accident for Sub-Zero players.
Happy little accidents here. Flawless blocks again.
More of these back threes are absolutely... Oh, tries to break. Murko taking tons of damage. Do not get hit now. No, you're done.
And that's
done. God damn it, Murko. I said don't get hit.
Just slicing and dicing Scorpion one more time and feeding him another one. Another round on the board. Macaron match point. This has been clean, to say the least.
There's just something about how explosive Macaron's comebacks are. It just you look at all the damage taken and you ignore it because all he has to do is hit you once. Massive damage, wonderful positioning. Even now, as we go for a deep neutral jump, Murko tries to challenge, tries to jump out, gets completely clipped, thankfully able to reposition and get in a situation, Macaron breaking out of it, but you're never safe. How can you be comfortable? Misses the combo!
Oh, that's huge. Macaron is going to see this and get some momentum, and you need to be...
No!
I thought he thought that hit.
Macaron definitely thought Murko was going to maybe not read the breaker. In this case,
that is going to be close.
Oh, no.
Meaty tongue? No, he's just going in. Wants the chip, wanted to get in his face. That was so clean. Macaron takes it 3-2-0. And one thing I noticed too is how much Macaron changes aggression after getting, no matter what the health deficit is, when he gets a little bit of health back, he goes crazy. If he sees himself get a little bit of health back, the belief that I see it give him is where we see some magic, or some of the greatest magic that I saw in the whole set.
I used the word in the last game. It's the explosive nature of this character. The way Macaron uses Scarlet. You look at the damage that you take from an opponent. You ignore it completely because you just know one touch can lead to a sequence that just destroys the life bar of whoever it is Macaron's against. And Murko, no slouch. We've seen Murko decimate these broadcasts. Yet today, Macaron just reached that next level of comfort, confidence, execution. Those flawless blocks were great, but everything else was even better. Now, this was the complete package here, and could spell for a very interesting grand finals because Omi, upper bracket side grand finals, has the lifeline. Macaron has double the work to do in grand finals, and I'll explain this as we go. But if we're talking about momentum, that is the magic word for Macaron. Macaron has got to be feeling a certain kind of good after winning against Murko in that fashion. And although, you've got to reset the bracket against Omi and then win again, this is putting you in tip-top shape to do it.
And he's in a good position to throw something completely different at Omi that he's red hot with at the moment, because he did, when he was down, decide not to go back to Scarlet in the 1-0 versus Omi. Stayed Cetrion, lost it. Now, with the momentum, this is the perfect time to come out of the gate with Scarlet and see what you can do.
Let's take a look at the bracket.
I think anyway.
I would say for the last time, but I'm sure we'll bring it up before we close out the show here. But look at the journey. Omi 3-2 over Murko. It was a hard-fought battle, but one that worked out in the end. Macaron and Omi have gone head-to-head more than once in the PlayStation tournaments, even recently, as they clashed last month. They clashed again today. This time, Omi took it 2-0. But I remember saying, Aquaman, I don't know if you remember this, when Omi defeated Macaron, I said, I do not think we'll see the Cetrion again. Because after that first game, Macaron did kind of sit on Scarlet for a bit.
Oh, yeah.
And then went back to Cetrion. I think that kind of suggested, I think he was thinking about it, but didn't commit. However, since
and
going
then he did
to
the
Scarlet...
same thing, and then he found himself in the same position against K-Top, right?
Yep.
Down on Cetrion, hovered over Scarlet, and selected the character, and now he's sitting here.
Yeah, that's it. That was the key moment.
Yep.
Not going to Scarlet when Macaron was considering it was that was the loss, right? But the moment Macaron has dedicated to going back to the main, it's been a very different story. And in light of that, could definitely be a different story in grand finals. As you can see, got the wrong characters on there, but Omi's on the winner's side, Macaron's on the loser's side. Omi has only got to win this 3 out of 5 to win the tournament, as he is still in the upper bracket. Macaron, to defeat Omi, has got to win the 3 out of 5, which will then send Omi to the lower bracket to join him, and then a final best of 5 will commence. So if Omi can keep this rock solid, could be a comfortable win. But Macaron is bringing the heat. We've seen that over the last couple of sets. Looks like a different player.
Scarlet.
There it is. Scarlet, straight away. What character does Omi pick? It's going to be Sub. No. Frost. Sub-Zero.
Wait, did he mess it up?
I don't know. It went Sub-Zero, Frost, and then Sub-Zero. I don't know what's going on. I'm so confused. We haven't even started the grand finals yet, and we're getting mixed by Sub-Zero players. How do you like that?
Get ready to continue that roller coaster, because here comes some more.
Yeah, I just get hit. I get hit all the time. Don't worry. Overhead low, grab, free to it, mate.
Strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. We got ourselves a literal bloodbath that's about to unfold in grand finals. Here we go. And I wanted to make a note earlier, catch up too, that I forgot. In Omi's duplicitous edge himself, because both of the players tonight, the story for both of them has been having two characters at their highest level. Can we talk about that? Both of them.
We definitely can. It's how things have developed in, I think, not only the Mortal Kombat space, but the fighting game space.
Yeah, and on
I feel
top
like
of
being a one and only character specialist is a bit of a dying breed these days, because players, they don't want to ever put themselves into a bad matchup or something that's harder to do. A comfortable first round here for Macaron. But yeah,
there's a massacre happening in the background.
Oh, there is. It's just a massacre happening.
Yeah, it is what it is. Macaron's off to a really strong start here. But I love, on top of that, is the fact that they have really similar play styles with their characters that they have opposite, right? But far different tool sets. But I see Omi using down 4 and backdash normals just like he does with Frost. With Macaron, both characters, it's the zoning in space. So beautiful.
You always pick the characters that fit your game plan the best. That's just the way it is. It's very rare that a player is going to be this multi-game plan specialist, as it were. But if you can play multiple characters that do different things, that's where the rewards really start to apply. Macaron, unfortunately, drops that into an armor breaker, so he completely gives up the combo as Omi now able to somewhat bring this back. The trip guard is delicious. Unbreakable as well.
Guaranteed. Nothing hits like a 4-3-4 blood boil from Scarlet. That is a third of your life essentially gone for free for 3 things. For button special catch up. Button special, shake my hand.
One of the things that really helped Scarlet in Ultimate, actually, the moment custom variations were introduced, most characters were able to sort of come up with completely new variations or new ways to play or whatever. Scarlet's biggest helps really seemed to be picking variations that were always okay on their own, but they had a useless move or something that people didn't really like, and then you can just give it boiling point. That was what all the Scarlet players did early on, and it's been so good still, was that you take the original variations, you swap out one you don't want to use, and you just give it boiling point. Instantly, you've got more damage, and that's
instantly more damage, more of a threat. You actually have an ender.
Indeed. It's something she really didn't have before. Unless you consider a blood projectile an ender.
That, but she honestly does get an ender with it. It's either that or the tongue.
Frost time. Ooh. So it was a bit of a back and forth first. It was Sub-Zero, then it was Frost, and then it was Sub-Zero. In this case, it's going to be Frost for the second game. Omi with the instant jump in here.
Oh, no!
Macaron.
That was delayed! It wasn't like he woke up with it. He had to wake up and then wait.
Oh, but that's entirely because Omi does delayed low all the time with this character. We've been seeing it all day long, and Macaron has clearly paid attention to it. Picks up on a potential pattern, maybe. However, that is going to be a message to Omi. You're going to have to mix it up a little bit on offense, otherwise you're going to get flawless blocked all day, every day. Thankfully, this Augur in play is going to be able to plug those gaps, as I said earlier today. Frost, vulnerable to flawless block, as is Scarlet, but Frost has a move that can deal with that.
Ooh. And such good patience to wait for any kind of roll attempt and then tongue. Really smart. I noticed that versus Murko as well, where he would delay that tongue to stop or wait for the wake up options and then barely catch them trying to wake up jump with what Scorpion was trying to too.
Frost, she doesn't have the fastest buttons in the world, but what she lacks in speed, she makes up for in range. Kind of like Scarlet, funnily enough. These two characters do have similar strengths and weaknesses, which is kind of strange to say, but very much the case. The break into the boiling point. No meter to amplify. Macaron still has no meter to amplify, but it still does okay damage, to be fair. Flawless block. Whoa!
There's the health back up in his face. There's no fear in Macaron's play right now.
Oh, that brutality gives me such Shinnok MK4 vibes. I love it. I love it. Anyone that's old as me probably knows the fatality I'm talking about. But what a second game there for Macaron, and just like that, I think if Macaron resets the bracket in this fashion, I think it took longer for me to explain a double elimination grand finals than it would be for Macaron to reset the grand finals and bring us into maybe another set, because this is rapid.
Oh, man. leave it and leave it to someone that we've talked about kind of getting on some momentous runs. Scarlet's looking like a okay. Not to make another Kotal Khan reference, but she's looking like the real blood god of MK11. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think it's a great showing.
Big buttons, big damage. She's in there.
We get to see the dynamic though, don't we? Because Omi had all of the momentum. The manner of which Omi defeated Murko to get into grand finals on the upper bracket side, amazing. Wonderful showing and one of the absolute best sets that we had seen today, and arguably that match that went to timeout, one of the best matches we've seen, period, in 3 years of PlayStation tournaments. But that momentum is going to get taken away. If this is a swift 3-0 into reset, that momentum is instantly given to Macaron, 100%.
He's settling himself down here in the Coliseum. Now that he knows that there's a crowd, he can hear him cheering, screaming. Chat, make yourselves known.
It's the best way to go. You need support any way you can get it at this point. No commitment on the low, or no belief in the low, I should say. Definitely committed to the whole thing. Could have been the round. Down one out in the air. Oh, 1, 2, 4. Okay.
Both of these players have also been implementing, again, something that you only see at the very apex of competition. Movement, not just in dashes, but walking under jumps and flawless blocking and creating whiff punishes. Really high level stuff. Or the string will do it for you.
Oh, up that 3, too far away. Overhead. No belief though from Omi. And
he was, and that's the flawless block mind games. The timing is different if you read early jump kick versus late jump kick. That's gross. That's knowing what your opponent's going to do.
That's why consistently flawless blocking jump kicks is so unbelievable, because the opponent's timing is so varied that it feels impossible to do it. Yet somehow these players are able to do so. Interruption, break, boiling point,
death.
Reset point, Aquaman. Can Macaron do this and bring us into a final game in what feels like record time?
And there are not a lot of characters in MK11 that can up to into 300.
No, it is a very rare luxury to have, but it kind of goes back to what we said. Damage is one of the things that really allows Scarlet to compete. Forward throw. I like that choice.
Omi's probably going to be scouting teleport. Did a great job versus Cetrion, and hello. When you're scouting teleport, maybe you're not scouting your toes, and here's another one. Another sacrifice to the blood gods.
Good lord, my feet. They're eating the soles of my shoes. Whoa, movement. As Sub-Zero. Triple wave dash. Triple wave dash into forward 2. The up 3, though. The punishment. Staggering it. Oh, that's a reset.
And Macaron answers with the same way that Omi came in. Up in his face, got personal, pressed the buttons. What were you saying, Ketchup?
Already said it, haven't I? We've reset this bracket. 3-0, and now we go into one final series. Omi is now in the lower bracket to join everyone else that has been in this tournament. There are no upper bracket players left. As now, look, we just talked about this, but I'm gonna reel it back in, because Omi had tons of momentum going into grand finals, looked really, really good. Macaron, on the other hand, has found this new confidence in Scarlet today. Truthfully, I don't know what all the character changing was about, because clearly the Scarlet is still here to do damage. Maybe was trying it out, maybe was having some fun, maybe was just trying to experiment with going with other characters. I really don't know. But it's not the story now. Who knew that losing that first game in such fashion against K-Top would have led to such confusion, which ultimately has just full circle come back to Scarlet now.
I mean, what a journey Macaron's been through anyway. I mean, maybe after last month, that's unfortunate.
Too far away, man. It is too far away.
Too far away. Maybe for Macaron, he saw how he performed in the last fight night and said a change was needed because 5th wasn't good enough for him.
No, very, very, very likely.
And maybe he only played Cetrion coming into this, and now this is just going back home to Scarlet, and the muscle memory's there, and the vibe is there, and he's gaming.
Like, absolutely could be. You know, and we said that Macaron is considered by pretty much the entire community to be the #1 Scarlet out there. They weren't kidding, because you are looking at, in my opinion, you are looking at the #1 Scarlet player right now. If you want to learn how to play this character, look no further. Either way, though, round 1 for Macaron. Omi, the more games that go down, the worse it's going to get, right? Because it's already 3 straight. You've spent the KB there to take the lead. I mean, it's better than nothing, but swiftly undone. Oh, good lord.
Now line erasing that. Then jumping over perfectly the amplified ice ball, and here we go.
He knew Omi wouldn't break.
In some more.
He knew Omi wouldn't break. Like, how far ahead do you want to be here? Jump in.
I thought it was gonna bomb.
I thought so too. Maybe that's what he
Stay
was
one
going for.
bomb.
Oh wait, hang on. No, your feet.
Oh, he's dead. Oh, still alive.
Oh,
That was done so well though.
Oh, there's the bomb.
A taste of his own medicine. Cyber Sub-Zero gets his vengeance from the grave. Catch up. One more time.
Isn't he Cyber Sub-Zero?
Nah, man.
Which one is it?
They got him hanging in the background like a relic, like a
Oh god,
dinosaur, man.
These timelines are so confusing. Is it
They
one of
are.
the brothers? Is he a robot? Is he Noob Cybot? I can't keep up with all this madness. But what I said at the start of the game, this is starting to come a bit more prominent, because now it's 4 straight. Macaron has beat Omi 4 games in a row. Like, this is where the grand finals pressure can just, no pun intended, amplify. Because how do you come back?
Is this 7 straight with the Scarlet? Total?
Mate, I lost count. I've lost count. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I've lost count.
Yep. Oh, it is.
Oh, thank you, production. It is 7. How about that? Thank you, production, for doing mad jobs for me.
I would say I'm glad someone's paying attention, because it's not us.
No, we're having a great time, though. Loving it. Happy Friday, everybody.
Celebrating it in style. Cool, coming in from downtown with the slide. He's been keeping that. That was a little wild. He's been keeping it. You know, I guess not. It's getting more and more progressively crazy because he's feeling this pressure, just like we are.
The overhead, everything has been working for Omi so far, whether it's been the 5 million slides or that overhead on its own.
Hey, if there's a way to open up an overhead, it's doing slide 10,000 times in a row. You're gonna block low.
You don't want to get seen on stream getting hit by slide 10 times back to back. Oh, wait a minute. You want to overhead me? I've got one of my own. It's nowhere near as good, but it's something.
That definitely looked like a revenge overhead for having not blocked the fortune right.
Oh,
and vengeance is a dish best served cold, though.
That overhead just said, you know what, Scarlet? 2 wrongs don't make a right. 2 overheads don't make a low. It's a 50-50.
And a rare missed space from Macaron there with the forward 4.
Does go in for that flawless block off the meaty jump kick, punishes as well, and takes the damage completely guaranteed. Macaron, flawless blocking the jump kick still, even without the meter to flawless block. I think it's just keeping in good practice, keeping the habit up. You need to make sure these jumps aren't free. However, Omi has done a wonderful job so far. A trade, able to just narrowly get the trade combo, and actually, ooh, that hurts.
There was some optimization to that. If you commit to a jump in, it would have caught the up 3. This gives Macaron a chance. We all know what can happen. What?
What on earth?
What? Flawless block into parry, but he got away with it into the entire Omi's alive, ladies and gentlemen. This match is now, believe it or not, after everything that has happened, it's even.
It's stabilizing. That's it. It's completely and utterly stabilizing. I just said before that match, that was 4 losses in a row that Omi conceded to Macaron, and that was a rather rapid reset. 3 straight games.
Because Christmas is approaching. He said, here's 3 presents for you. Now it's time to play.
Hey, being able to win that game and bring us back to a completely neutral situation where now it's basically a best of 3. Both players have 2 games, right? That's it. That's just the way it is. So, a reset of confidence, a reset of the situation. And now, Omi, if there was anything slipping away from you, you've just won a game in really comfortable fashion. We're back. We're back in. And now it's nice and competitive once more.
And that started with like 7 raw slides and a forward 2 to get us started.
It did, didn't it?
That is exactly how we got back in this grand finals. It took a little bit of wildness.
Sometimes you got to play a little bit on the wild side, my friend. No flawless block to start off. However, Plus frames into forward throw, looks for an empty jump, already trying to scout out those wake-up flawless blocks from Macaron that have been so successful for him. It's good that Omi's looking for it. Slide punish, and a slide for the KB that no doubt could be useful later. Overhead. With
that, another point-blank ice ball working out for him, but it's off of his personal style of loving that down 4 backdash.
Of course. Something that I think both players are starting to pay real attention to. I love these elongated grand finals. I mean, it just opens up scope for adaptation so much. There's the jump in, and actually, that is going to really hurt. Actually, being greedy with the resources. It could have been a 1-2-4, I think. I think that would have been enough hits in the combo.
Uh-oh.
I'm fairly certain Omi's combo did enough hits that 1-2-4 would have KB'd, and he'll pay for it.
He broke! GG's. Why? Oh, I guess he assumed he was dead either way, but from the proverbial grave, Macaron finds another one. I can't breathe after that.
You're going into the next round with no defensive bar at all, and that means no flawless blocks. That means more offense for Macaron should the opportunity happen. Thankfully, we turned things around. KB straight away. I'm so sure that that combo that Sub-Zero had there could have been a 1-2-4. I think it was enough hits. I don't quite pin it as a mistake, just in case I'm incorrect.
Yeah, I think that he ended it early when he could have tried to sneak like a couple, like a 2-2-2-1-2-4, or like 2-2-1-2-4, and he just didn't want to drop, I think.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to be that kind of commentator that will think something is a mistake that's definitely not a mistake, but yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. I didn't even see what was blocked 2-up-3. It was one of those ice shards. Interrupts the teleport.
Macaron now blocks correctly. Plus frames. Omi holds it, and there's the spike. Wait, that looked like it went even closer. What's going on?
That was really smart. It was the unexpected thing.
Absolutely, especially from that range. Finding the opportunity and taking full advantage, seizing it as Macaron does now, brings him one game away from winning this tournament. That was not a one-sided match by any stretch, but have to pull back into that first round. Not even talking about the combo in the corner, because absolutely could have just been not enough hits to make the KB happen. Breaking with the fatal blow. That was death either way because of the damage. Going into the next round with no defensive bar at all is always going to be a hindrance, even though we started the next round with an ice ball. And
it's just information for your opponent. You don't want to give them confidence based on, a resource like that. Because if I see no defensive meter, I'm going crazy. And I'm feeling good.
Could be seeing it now. This could be the last match of the tournament. But again, I want to remind everybody that if you are enjoying what you see today and you want more of the MK11 fix, there will be North America after Europe, after, if I'm not mistaken, a bit of an extended break. So stay tuned today. There will be more Mortal Kombat where that came from, and more in Mr. Aquaman. Whether that's a blessing or a curse, you decide.
Absolutely. And if you guys are just now tuning in, ever since Macaron has picked Scarlet in the lower bracket, he has, if you watch this man's Twitch stream, he has meditated, elevated, alleviated, I don't know what it all is, but he has entered the zone here. And even knew the breakaway was coming for the side switch teleport.
Now, Omi does have a life lead here, but Scarlet, with the opponents back to the corner, we have seen what Macaron makes happen here. And, oh! God, Aquaman! Need I say more?
Another round one.
Why did they do so much damage?
Not even.
Why does it do so much damage?
It's just, he has taken, I think, every first round. At the same time, that's what Sub-Zero does. That's what he's doing.
With punish.
This is a match. This is a match.
This is tournament point. Tournament point for Macaron, showing everyone why he is considered to be the #1 Scarlet in the business. And I don't know what these character choices were. Omi going in for a slide. Don't know what that's about. Overhead block.
That was ridiculous. Are you kidding me? To know what was coming, that was a little patterny from Omi, and it's one more from Macaron. Eats the up 3, blocks right, and he says, this tournament is mine!
Oh my God. God, this is a family show, for crying out loud.
Not anymore.
How about that? 3-1 post reset, 3-0 before the reset, and that final game was all Macaron 1000%. That's going to be the end of the tournament. Macaron getting sent to the lower bracket. Early days, able to claw the way back, make it through, defeat everyone else remaining. And that is now going to be the #1 Scarlet in the world, in my opinion. First place in today's tournament. Aquaman, that was sick. Thoroughly enjoyed that.
That was one of my favorite fight nights I've ever done. From character selection to how it transpired, to see Frost, Scarlet, a couple other characters like that dominate. We see Baraka. It was a good night. It was a good night. We saw Collector. It was a good night catch up. It was a good night. And yeah, cheers. And I believe we're gonna take a look at that finalized bracket, guys. We'll take a look at the entirety of this thing. And Omi, we got to give massive props to.
Oh, absolutely.
Showed up today. Took out 3 of the top dogs in a row. Bam, bam, bam. Made grand finals. Statement tournament for that young man.
It was a wonderful showing. We've known Omi has what it takes to reach this caliber for ages and ages and ages. There's just something about that performance today that just felt like it was that next level. And I really hope this isn't the end of that for Omi. Normally, there was always that one tournament that really pushes someone's confidence, right? The reassurance that you can do it, you can take it to this level, was only a couple of games away from winning the tournament himself. It was just Macaron was on a rampage and a half. So, I really hope Omi doesn't feel too bad about falling just short here. Second place in this tournament is wonderful, and it was so close to going his way. But it will be Macaron, the player of the hour and the player of the day if you're in Europe. We do have North America afterwards, so make sure you're keeping an eye out for that. Aquaman, what a show. Loved it.
Start to end, couldn't ask for anything better on a for me, a Friday morning. For you guys, a Friday afternoon. It was awesome. And guys, if you want to get involved yourselves, compete.playstation.com. It really is that simple. Go check out the other events that they got going on. They're at the bottom ticker right there. You guys see we got Apex coming up. We've got other fighting games, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Street Fighter 5, Tekken 7. A ton of games going on there as well. And you can also join the community Discord, the PlayStation Tournaments community Discord. Find regular updates on esports events, articles, videos, and you can even meet others to improve your game with. They also regularly host play sessions, interviews, and other special content. So go check it out, guys.
I think this is another final opportunity to remind everyone that you can rack up wins in PlayStation tournaments through all of December and January for a chance to win prizes, like the new DualSense Edge controller on PS5 or PS5 consoles on PS4. Sign up on console and start competing for prizes today. Full rules can be read on compete.playstation.com. And unfortunately, Aquaman, that's going to be where I have to say goodbye to everybody. I know we're going to be joining you a little bit later. North America will be taking place.
With Infinity again, which will be a good time.
The one and only. Can't wait to see it. But thank you all so much for tuning in. I want to give a huge thanks to everyone that watched, participated, whether it was social media, whether it's live on stream. If you are watching the VOD as we speak, hi, hello. We're
hello.
Doing something
hello
else
from
now.
the past.
Hello from the past.
Technically.
But yeah, one final shout out though. Thank you very much to PlayStation Tournaments, Sony, all the support that they're showing to not only the gaming community in terms of high level, but the fighting game community in particular. Very, very special indeed. And one final thank you to the hardworking production team behind the scenes, making all this stuff happen. Trust me, they're doing the real work. We're just sitting here doing a little bit of this. So I'll be saying goodbye for now. We're going to go for a break. When we come back, North America is going to commence with 8 fresh new players and a fresh 8-player bracket. Stay tuned, take care, and have a wonderful weekend.
PlayStation